The starting lineups for both teams in tonight's game are underwritten by Streck and Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word. Keep an eye on the coin toss there for me while I tell the folks that the starting offensive lineup for the home team, the Chesterton Trojans, will be senior quarterback Garrett Slatkoff. The halfback will be Lou Razzo. The fullback will be Daquan Stewart, and the slot back will be Matt Estill. The wide receivers Colton Tuzinski and Logan Hoferth. The up front men for Chesterton tonight: right tackle Josh Slayers, right guard Derek Harden, center Alex Scott, left guard James Van Dree, and the left tackle Caleb McEwen. The head coach for the Chesterton Trojans, Mark Peterson, in his third year here at CHS with a mark of 12 and 13. 47 and 42 overall in his ninth year of coaching. Chesterton comes in with a record of 2 and 1. Since we gave you the Chesterton offense, we will give you the LaPorte Slicer defense. They run a 3-4 up front. The tackles are Joel Hines and James Kane. The nose guard will be Devin Hammond Flanagan. The 4 linebackers will be Sergio Garcia, Nick Ormsby, Matt Otwinski, and Mason Kosher. And in the secondary, the corners Ben Dermody and Joe Hilnovsky. The strong safety, Owen Streeter, and the free safety, Caleb Yandick.
Well, you guessed right and went with the Chester. I'm sorry, you guessed wrong with going with the Chesterton offense and the Slicer defense, because it is going to be going to LaPorte Slicers. That Chesterton Trojans have deferred to the second half.
Isn't that usually how it works when you watch it on the television, too? Don't they give opposite of what it ends up being? The LaPorte Slicers, coached by Dave Sharp, 3-0 in his first year here at LaPorte, 15 and 10 in his third year overall. LaPorte comes in with a 3-0 mark, wins over New Prairie, Hobart, and Valpo. And Chesterton, as I mentioned, 2-1. Kokomo, the season opening loss, then wins over Munster at Michigan City. Starting lineups for both teams in tonight's game were underwritten by Strack and Van Til, where fresh is more than just a word. Okay, so I think we're set to go. Hope you enjoyed the Concussion Clinic Countdown to Kickoff, live from Chesterton High School. The Countdown to Kickoff, it's underwritten by the Concussion Clinic of Community Healthcare System at Community Hospital Munster, St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart, and the Valparaiso Health Center in Valpo. And you're now listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night, Game Time Action right here on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. All right, so since the LaPorte Slicers will go on offense first, let's give you their lineup again, underwritten by Streck and Van Til. The quarterback will be senior Eric Mazzani. And then they have a 3-man running back attack. The left halfback is Gino Franciconi, the fullback Brennan Long, and the right halfback Dion Williams. Double tight ends in most of their sets. Scott Cooper and Josh Bowling will be the starters at those positions. And up front for the LaPorte Slicers, the right tackle Nick Gragdio, right guard Nate Warnick, the center Miles Jagman, the left guard Tim Walsh, and the left tackle Weston Hazlitt. Chesterton Trojans defensively, Anthony Zelenica will be one end, while Andrew Wheeler will be the other. Armando Maylard will be the defensive tackle. Again, Chesterton, they run also a 3-4, just like LaPorte. The linebackers will be Brett Reske, Luke Finke, Matt Krugman, and Brandon DeVell. The corners, Valshawn Stewart and Mason Calitha, the strong safety, Josh Chorba, and the free safety, Chris Boren. Those are your Strack and Van Til starting lineups for tonight. Strack and Van Til were built around you. I think I got everything in there.
Yes, you did. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Hey, you're looking at the LaPorte quarterback, Eric Mazzani. He is 10 for 13 on the season, 1 interception, and 2 touchdown passes. Longest pass was 62 yards, and he has 232 yards on the season. Well, it looks like he's more of a game manager and handing the ball off, Jerry, than he is like a player out there, making big plays. Looking at him running the ball, he's 9 carries, 22 yards. So that comes out to a .7 average.
That looks like 6 here on the near side, 1 on the far side. 1 is Williams over on the far side. 6 Franciconi here on the near side to return the kick, and we're underway. Nobody's returning anything as that's going out the back of the end zone. LaPorte will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Well, that was very uneventful.
Yes, it was. But he's got a strong wind at his back coming out of the north, so that did help carry that ball deep
I don't know
I
don't know what the entire evening will bring, but I'm glad some of those rains and those torrential downpours we saw this morning has gone away, at least for the time being. First handoff, and this one to Long, and Long is free out to the 39-yard line. 19 yards on the first carry off the right side for Brennan Long.
So Chesterton, in their basic set, they go with 2 tight ends, 3 running backs, 1 directly behind the quarterback, 2 to the wings. So he just handed it right off the Long, smash mouth football right over to left tackle or left guard.
Nothing fancy, just very effective. This is Mazzani under center. This time Franciconi's going to get it and try the right side. About a yard.
Well, what they did on that play, Jerry, is they ran the dive play to the fullback, and then the halfback from the left side cut behind the quarterback, a little counter play off of that first play action.
Give Franciconi 2 to the 41-yard line, 2nd and 8 for the Slicers. No huddle action going on right here for LaPorte. They're in the road whites with that bright orange helmets and pants. I kind of like it, though, actually. It's different. Here's the handoff, and this is going to be Williams. So 3 plays, each man gets a touch. You would figure that when you look at their rushing totals and the fact that each average over 100 yards a game. Well, 1 on the pickup from Williams, 3rd and 7 for the Slicers.
Well, Slicers right there just trying to overpower Chesterton defensive line at the point of attack. They had both of the backs to the left side lead up into the hole. Back to the right side, came around, fouled them into the hole. Nothing doing. Chesterton defense starting to tighten up a little bit.
So 3rd and 7. Mazzani under center. Williams, Franciconi got it from Williams. Franciconi goes to the right side, gets it across the 45 near the 46, but he's going to come up about 3 yards short.
Well, what they did on that one, Jerry, 3 of the backs went to the right, and they pulled the backside guard, and he let up into the hole to try and block for the quarterback, and he picked up only a few yards. Chesterton defense not bending, or not breaking, but bent a little bit, gave up a couple first downs, but nice job.
Just that first play, then the next 3 went for only 7 yards, and it's going to force LaPorte to punt it away. Owen Streeter, the punter for the Slicers.
Into that strong wind coming out of the north.
And let's see. Here's the boot. It's going to hit the turf at the 30. Take a LaPorte roll and come to rest at the 25, and that is where Chesterton will begin. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. 9:41 left in the opening quarter, no score.
Well, let's see if the Chesterton offense can get a little momentum here, get some first downs. If they get the ball to midfield, punt LaPorte into their, deep into their own end, because they got, again, that strong wind at their back. They're not going to pass using it, so might as well help them with if they have to punt.
Keep an eye on all night on Garrett Slatkoff. He is the leading rusher for the Chesterton Trojans, the quarterback. 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. That's the wide side. 1st and 10, Chesterton. Slatkoff going to keep, going to roll, going to pitch, and it's short. Incomplete pass. Was intended for
looked like number
Ron Dinelli.
Yeah, Dinelli had no chance. The quarterback, Sletkoff, threw it into the ground, sort of, and at least the receiver did the right thing, Jerry, because he didn't know if it was a lateral or a pass, so he tried to get on it before the whistle had blown, but once they blew the whistle, blew the play dead, he stopped. But a nice job thinking there by the wide receiver.
2nd and 10 for the Trojans. They'll send 1 receiver left to right this time. Here is a handoff across the 25, near the 27-yard line is the ball carrier. And that is Rondinelli. Yep. So a pickup of a yard, 3rd and 9 for Chesterton.
Yeah, big possession play here for the Trojans. They got to get this first down, try and keep some momentum, and keep that LaPorte high-powered offense off the field.
Just 1 back. He's going to be behind Slatkoff. 3 receivers wide right, 1 receiver left. Long count. Snap. Slatkoff keeps and rolls to his right. Here's a little swing pass caught here on the near side. 30, 35, 40, and that's Rondinelli on the catch. And it'll be a first down for Chesterton out to the 40-yard line.
Wow, what a catch by Dinelli. Reached up, just tipped it with his hand back to his body and came up.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay, and a nice job of him coming up with that catch. And then once he caught the ball, turned up the sidelines and made the first down and then some.
So Chesterton with their first down of their opening drive. They have it 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Trips will go this time to the left side, which is the wide side of the formation. 8:39 remaining in the opening quarter. Here's a fake. Now a drop and a roll to the right, short side, and Slatkoff is just going to throw it out of bounds as there was no one here on this side of the field with him.
And they got a flag coming out late at the end of the play.
Going to be a late hit on the quarterback?
Well, I was looking downfield for an open receiver, and the only receiver in the area, number 2 for the Trojans, was downfield blocking.
And that's Logan Hoferth.
Yeah, so he wasn't looking for a pass.
And the penalty is against Chesterton.
Oh, that one's gonna hurt.
Yes, it will. It'll be a 5-yard walk-off back to the original line of scrimmage on this drive. The 25. 15 yards. My mistake. 15 yards on the penalty. It's the first flag against either team in this opening quarter, and that's going to bring up second down in just a heck of a long way for Chesterton.
25.
Trips to the left side again. Slatkoff gets across the 25 to around the 27, just a couple of yards on that carry. Garrett Slatkoff with 2. Chesterton's going to be staring at a 3rd and 22 from their own 27.
Well, those couple plays that they did complete or try to the outside, that's freezing those cornerbacks from coming up at all and trying to make the tackle on the quarterback. So Sletkoff tried to turn inside, but the linebacker was sitting there waiting for him.
So this time they're going to send trips to the right side, outside the hash mark, and one receiver to the left. As the football is basically in the middle of the field. Slatkoff in a shotgun formation once again, one back in the set. Slatkoff fakes, steps back, fires down the middle of the field. Man open, and it's overthrown as he had Hofer open near the LaPorte 30.
Wow, what a nice job. The quarterback getting the ball out there, but just with that strong wind at his back, put it a little bit too far out in front. The cornerback for LaPorte sort of looked like he froze there. That was Caleb Yedek, just sort of froze out there and didn't turn and get into a backpedal or sprint back, and boy, did he get beat bad.
Franciconi one deep back. And that is Streeter with it. Takes it at the 33 across the 35 and pushes his way up near the 40. 21, Owen Streeter on the return for LaPorte. And they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 40 with 7:33 to play in the opening quarter. No score in this one from Chesterton High School. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, they have offices open from 9 to 9 Monday through Friday and Saturdays until 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Yeah, nice pump by the punter right there, Needham, averaging 47 yards on the season. That was about a 42-yarder right there.
So here we go. First down for LaPorte. Handoff, and that looks like Williams to the 45. It is a pickup of 5. It's a good first down play, Jay.
Yeah, nice job right there. That offensive line showing their physicality, and Nathan talked about in the pregame that they outweigh the Chesterton front by about 40 to 50 pounds a guy out there. That's going to wear on you after a while.
So it's second down. Difference in styles from these quarterbacks. Mazzani likes to work under 7, or Slatkoff in a shotgun. Straight handoff. This time the ball carrier is long, and he's going to get to about the 48-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, 3rd and 2 for the Slicers from their own 48-yard line.
Jerry, the Slicers, between the tackles, that's about 90% of their offense so far tonight. They really don't like to run from the tight end to the sidelines. They're staying compact, and Chesterton really trying to stack the box, but they're slowing them down, but they got to hold ground now.
Considering the forecast, a nice crowd has come over from LaPorte for this one. Handoff, Williams has it, tries the left side, and he gets across midfield by about a half a yard. That half a yard is enough to give the Slicers a first down. Officially, it'll be called they'll call it right at midfield.
Yeah, and they just got enough to get the first down. It looked like Andrew Waller was the first man to hit the running back in the backfield, but with his forward momentum going, was able to get the first down.
Second first down of the quarter 6:14 to play in the first. No score. LaPorte driving. They are at midfield. Slicers are working right to left on the radio dial here in this opening quarter, so they're going towards the north end zone, and handoff straight up the middle and into Chesterton territory at the 46-yard line. Ball carrier was Brennan Long again. Give him 4 on that carry.
Yeah, nice job of just power football right there by the Slicers, just pushing that defensive line back.
They're not huddling.
No.
They are just getting up to the line and saying, let's go, let's go. How fast can we go? We can go faster. But they're getting to the line, looking over what Chesterton's doing, and then getting their play set. Mazzani under center, and Mazzani tries to hand off to Long, and there are 4 Trojans there to hit him and knock him back for a loss to the 48.
Yeah, nice job, Luke Fink. With a Finke, Luke Finke, right in the backfield, hit the dive back and just drove him back, and they got some help from his friends.
So that's going to bring up third down, 3rd and 8, and we have a timeout on the field.
Just an official's timeout.
Official's timeout as Brennan Long goes to the sideline for the Slicers with 5:06 to play in a very quick first quarter.
You notice, Jerry, that's the first time they put 2 receivers to the outside, and all Chesterton did was go man up on the outside. They left as many guys in that box area as possible. Again, same formation for LaPorte.
Receiver each way, 3 backs. Mazzani under center. Mazzani, 2-step drop, looks to the left, catch made, and it's going to be a first down to the 35-yard line. Catch made there by 88, Scott Cooper, the tight end.
You know what they did, Jerry, on that second down play? They ran it up the middle. Then they saw what they were doing defensively and made an adjustment and threw the ball easy, quick slant to complete.
1 for 1 for Mazzani. First down, LaPorte. And that is Franciconi with the ball to the right side, down near the 33. Pickup of a couple for Gino Franciconi.
Yeah, Franciconi did a nice job making a couple moves, being shifty in the hole, and picking up a decent amount on first down.
Actually give him 3 on the play down to the 32, 2nd and 7 for the Slicers.
Well, one thing is with this type of offense, everybody's got to make sure they're on their assignment, staying in their gap, because you don't know which gap they're going to be hitting.
We are down to 4 minutes in a very quick first quarter from here at Chesterton. Pitch. Williams has it. Left side. It looked like he had some room. Who hit him?
That was like
number 4. Come on, that's number 4. That young man for Chesterton has a name, and it's Mason Calitha.
Calitha did a great job shedding off the block by the wide receiver, and then keeping outside contained, and just wrapped up and did a nice job. He was one-on-one with the blocker and then shedded him and then was able to make the tackle. Great play.
When Williams hit that edge at the hash marks, he looked gone.
Yeah.
And Calitha came from his corner position, took him on one-on-one, textbook tackle. The pickup was only 2. We've got a
number 3 coming off the field for Chesterton.
Josh Chorba. So 3rd and 5 for LaPorte from the Chesterton 30-yard line. 3:40 to play in a scoreless opening quarter. See, I think I have time to read this. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, underwritten by our friends at Berry Brothers. Berry Brothers Blue Collar Store for the blue collar worker. Okay, go ahead. Your turn.
I was going to say, right now, LaPorte is watching how Chesterton defense is adjusting, and then they're taking advantage of that, whether it be through the pass or through the running game.
So LaPorte, going to go with the double tight end and 3 backs.
Unbalanced offensive line.
Mazzani, handoff. And looks like the gain is only going to be to the 26-yard line. As that Williams on the play, and now a flag comes out.
It looks like they're going to call a late hit, but the running back never stopped. So that's I don't know about that one.
Williams was a yard short. 4 yards is what he picked up on the carry. He must not have heard a whistle because he picked himself up and kept going, and Chesterton is going to get called for an unsportsmanlike conduct. And that's going to give LaPorte a first down.
That one's sort of hard to, even though you hear the whistle, you see that back breaking out and coming up off the turf and coming out and running hard. You think he's, the whistle hadn't blown, and boy, he didn't hit him hard, but he made contact.
That takes the football down to the 13-yard line.
Yeah.
Half the distance to the goal penalty. A 13-yard penalty is what it amounts to.
Yeah, last play, LaPorte came in an unbalanced offensive line.
That's a huge break for LaPorte because they were facing 4th and 1. Handoff straight up the middle, bulling his way down near the 5-yard line as the ball carrier. And that looks like it was Long that time. Long's going to get the 6. So he's going to pick up 7 on the play.
That nice, just coming off the ball. That offensive line just pushing them back.
My stats quickly are getting messed up because I can't get them written down fast enough. Another play being run by LaPorte, but nothing doing.
It looks like that was number 5, Long.
That was Long again.
Boy, he got stuffed in that hole and then bent backwards as he was going down. Nice job of the defense. Again, making it 3rd and difficult for him.
No gain on that play for Long. Third and about 3 from the 6-yard line for the Slicers. 2:17 clock running here in the opening quarter. Zaney under center. Franzaconi's going to get it this time. Bulling his way near the goal line. No signal from the officials. I think he's short of the end zone, but he has plenty for a first down.
LaPorte lined up in an unbalanced formation to the left side, looking for a space in there for the fullback to run, and they got a big push right there from their offensive line.
Jay, look where that football is. You really can't go any closer to the goal line without being in. Yeah. First and goal for the Slicers. The football just outside of the goal line. You know what's really cool? Whoever brings it in gets credit for a full yard. Bazzani under center. Franzaconi in for the Slicer touchdown.
Nice push again right there by the offensive line. Franzaconi just going over the top of the pile right there and getting the touchdown.
So officially a 1-yard touchdown run for Gino Franzaconi. And LaPorte draws first blood, leading this one 6-0 with 1:27 remaining in the opening quarter. Casey Cornett, number 24, on to attempt the PAT for the Slicers. Long snapper, Matt Otwinowski. See if I can get the number on the holder. Holder looks to be Williams. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up, and it is good as well. 1:27 left in the first. LaPorte 7, Chesterton nothing. You're listening to high school football right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep. It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Welcome back to Chevy Dealers Game 9 on the Region Sports Network on 90.5 FM. WRTW, underwritten by Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Number 1, along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you at Chesterton High School. 1-yard touchdown run for Gino Franzaconi. And LaPorte leads this one late in the first, 7-0. Here's the approach in the boot. And that looks like 14. Rondinelli with the football comes to the near side. He's at the 30 to 35. Knocked out of bounds there, and then a flag.
And another flag. Boy, Denelli, did he lay a hit on the defensive player? Looked like he was the defensive player, and the offensive player was just standing there. Boy, he delivered a blow right as he went out of bounds.
Yeah, Rondinelli put a shoulder down and let that defender have it. And the penalties against the Slicers.
It looks like they're calling it a blow to the head.
And this is going to give Chesterton some excellent field position as they will be out right around midfield after this walk-off. Actually, they will be in LaPorte territory. at the 49-yard line.
But now the Chesterton offense has got to get some momentum going. Keep that defense off the field. Let them rest a little bit. Run them a couple minutes off the clock. Get some first downs here. Get something positive going for their offense.
Trips to the left. One receiver to the right. Slatkoff waiting for the snap. Three-step drop. He's looking left all the way. Looking, and now spins away from a would-be tackler. Throws it downfield. Caught by Holford. Inside the 20 to the 19.
What a nice job of Slatkoff extending the play under duress, moving around in the pocket. Initial receivers were not open. And then number 2, Logan Hetkoff. Holford. Released down the field in a scramble drill. He did the exact thing. He was running a crossing pattern and then broke it deep and became wide open.
Where's the football? At the 18?
Looks 18.
So that is a 31-yard 31-yard pickup on the play. There's a little quick pass by Slatkoff to Rondinelli. Rondinelli's going to get to the 16. Pickup of a couple, as you can hear the Chesterton coaches.
Yeah.
Thought they had a chance to get just a little bit more.
Yeah, the wide receiver to the outside tried to make a block and just couldn't sustain it. Again, nice job by the defensive back coming up and fighting off the block. But if he would have been able to sustain that block, there was a lane to the outside. He could have caught it and scored.
Half a minute to play in this opening quarter. 7-0 LaPorte. But Chesterton threatening. They are at the slicer. 18, make it to 17 with the 2nd and 9. 2 receivers each way, but right side is the wide side. Slatkoff. Gonna hand off. Double reverse. And they've got the edge. 15, 10, 5 to the end zone. Is he in? Touch. Did he get in?
No, they're marking him down just inside the yard line.
The back was Matt Estelle. Slot back.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job of sustaining those blocks to the outside by the receivers on that side of the field. Now we got some type of penalty on the play. It might have been a holding. Might have been too good of a block. I don't know. Nope.
I
haven't seen a flag anywhere, but they called it.
Didn't see one thrown during the play either. So that great double reverse. Rondinelli to still wipe it out. Penalty against Chesterton.
Well, it looks like the flag was thrown about the 7 or 8 yard line. It looks like we're around about the 9 yard line. So 10-yard
penalty.
Ball's on the 19.
That's got to be a hold.
Yeah.
So 2nd down still, 2nd and 11. We'll find out what Chesterton will do when we begin the second quarter. After 1 from Chesterton, the LaPorte Slicers leading the Chesterton Trojans by a score of 7-0. You're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This is Herm Hoagie of Remax Realty Associates of Munster. Stay tuned, everybody, for the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report, which is coming up soon, right here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
I know.
At the Crowell Companies, our customers are more than just numbers on a ledger or anonymous people who sign up online. Our customers are the families we see at the ball fields, the grocery store, and all around the community. That's because for nearly 50 years, the Crowell Companies have been part of the community right here in Northwest Indiana, offering personalized custom services that only a local company can provide. For home, auto, and business insurance, it's the Crowell Companies, 923-2131, and online at crowellinsurance.com. The Crowell Companies, home of the insurance superheroes.
Tonight's game is underwritten in part by Langle's Pizza. With locations in Highland, Crown Point, and 2 in Cherville, Langle's is open for pickup or delivery 7 days a week, and orders can be placed online at langlespizza.com. Don't forget to take the Langle's Pizza and a pop quiz at popquiz.regionsports.com for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate. Langle's, serving the region since 1979.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Along with Jane Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you here at Chesterton High School. Second quarter underway with a incomplete pass, going to make it 3rd and 11 for the Chesterton Trojans from the LaPorte 19-yard line. You're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Chevrolet, the talk of the town. So let's see what Chesterton comes up with, Jay. 3rd and 11. From here, you're almost looking at this as two-down territory.
Definitely.
Taking it a little at a time if that's what's available to you. Slatkoff drops back, looks left, continues to look left. Now he's flushed from the pocket, rolling, comes downfield, fires toward the end zone, and incomplete.
Half an effort by Sletkoff to able to get that pass off. Rolling completely to his left. Had to turn, stop, and throw all the way against his body and was still able to get a ball close, but incomplete. It looks like they're running out the field goal unit.
Hofert, I believe, was the intended receiver there.
Yes.
So coming on for a field goal try, Nate Needham. This will be a 36-yard attempt coming from the 26 left hash. The snap's a little high. It's down, and that threw the timing off. Needham's kick is just long enough, but it is wide right. Missed field goal by Chesterton with 11:43 in the first half. As a result, the score remains LaPorte 7 and Chesterton nothing. Stay tuned after the second quarter for the Herm Hoagie halftime report, underwritten by Remax Realty Associates Herm and Chris Hoagie of Munster. We're on the web at regionhomes.com. Friday nights on the Region Sports Network get started with the Tech Credit Union tailgate beginning every week at 6. Tech Credit Union is on the web at techcu.org. All right, so 1st and 10 from the Slicers for the Slicers from their own 20-yard line, leading 7-0. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
A little tight in our broadcast.
Yes, it is.
Area tonight. Here's a handoff. That's Franciconi with it. Tries to go up the middle. Gets a yard to the 21. 2nd and 9 for the Slicers. Tonight's game is underwritten in part by the Randall K. Miss Accounting Group in Cherryville. When it comes to business, let Randall K. Miss Accounting put the numbers to work. Their phone number is 219-864-8541, and they are online at www.rkmissgroup.com.
Nice job on Chesterton's defense right there on first down. Usually LaPorte's been averaging about 5 or 6 yards of play on first down. They only held them to 2 right there, so good job stepping it up.
2nd and 8 for the Slicers from their own 22-yard line. LaPorte leading this one here in the second quarter, 7-0. Zaney back, looking to throw, and it is in and out of the hands of the corner there for Chesterton, Mason Calitha, and it was intended for Owen Streeter, incomplete. And
Calitha had a better chance at the pass than did the LaPorte receiver. That was number 21 for LaPorte.
Owen Streeter.
Trying to break open. Nice throw by the quarterback. He's got a strong arm, so, they need to use it a little bit more, try and balance the pass and run here.
Clock stopped, 10:55 left in the first half. 3rd and 8 for the Slicers from their own 22-yard line.
But again, a nice job by the corner out here.
So they're going to put receivers this time, Jay, both left and right, wide out in the formation. Backs all stacked again. Zaney drops, little quick throw, and that one. Wow. Boy, he tried to force that one into Streeter with 3 Trojans all around Owen Streeter.
Yeah, all they did was put 2 receivers to the outside and ran quick slants. Now Chesterton has adjusted to that. They put those free safeties up a little bit in that quick slant area. So LaPorte, what they were doing that first series just ain't working.
So Calitha, one of the men back, and he's back there with Rondinelli. Yeah, this Rondinelli is the deep man, awaiting the punt from Owen Streeter. Here's the boot with the wind at his back. Rondinelli calls for a fair catch and takes it at his own 42-yard line. And that is where the Chesterton Trojans begin. From their own 42 with 10:45 remaining in the first half. LaPorte leading this one by a score of 7-0. Tonight's game is underwritten in part by State Farm agents Rich Allenbaugh in Highland and Bob Reese in Crown Point. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and so are Rich and Bob. Rich can be reached at 923-3030 and Bob at 663-7337. State Farm agents Rich Allenbaugh and Bob Reese are proud supporters of high school sports on the Region Sports Network. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. 2 receivers each side, just 1 man in the backfield to go with Slatkoff. Slatkoff puts a man in motion to the right side. Fakes the handoff, runs an option. Here's a pitch. And out near the 47-yard line goes Louis Razzo, his first carry of the night.
Yeah, Slatkoff did an excellent job taking that all the way down the line of scrimmage. forcing that defensive end to step up and make the tackle on him. And at the last second, pitched the ball, got it to the outside. Receiver did a good job blocking and picked up a decent amount.
Ronzo
about 4 yards.
Picked up 3 on the play
Close.
to the 45. Yeah, well, he went down at the 47. I was surprised they marked it back at the 45. 2nd and 7 for Chesterton. Same formation. Slot receivers each way. And again, Ronzo goes in motion, and the handoff this time to the man in the backfield, and that is Daquan Stewart with his first carry of the night.
Yeah, Daquan Stewart not getting very much up the middle, maybe just 1 or 2. But you know what? With Chesterton's offense and them trying to go to the outside all the time, every once in a while you gotta try and slam it in the middle to keep those linebackers sitting in the middle of the field.
3rd and 5 for the Trojans. They are at their own 47-yard line. Clock continues to move. 9:35 remaining in this first half. Or is that an 8? There's some bulbs out. I can't tell exactly.
Yes.
Yes to there's bulbs out, or yes to it's 8?
yes, there's bulbs out.
Slatkoff. Handoff to the back who goes up the middle again. And that is not even going to reach the 50. So it is going to be short on that carry and can bring up 4th down for Chesterton.
And that play, it looked like Slatkoff should have kept that one and taken it to the outside. It looked like he had a lane to run with, but it looked like he didn't really read that one very well.
Daquan Stewart, the ball carrier. Stewart, football to the 48, just a gain of 1. Chesterton going to punt it away on 4th down. Here's the boot. Fair caught at the 19-yard line. That done by Gino Franciconi. So LaPorte takes over. After the exchange of punts, LaPorte takes over at their own 19-yard line. 8:43 remaining in this first half. 7-0 Slicers.
Yeah, nice job by the punter right there, Nate Needham. 41-yard punt into the wind.
So 1st and 10 for LaPorte. Man, this game is moving quick.
Yes, it is.
Wow. All right. Everything bunched. Double tights. All the backs in the backfield. Mazzani under center. This is going to be Williams on the handoff. Left side, found some room, cut it back to the right, across the 25-30. Near side, 35-40, and finally brought out of bounds at the 43-yard line. That is going to be a 24-yard pickup for Deion Williams.
Boy, nice job, Williams right there. Used the stiff arm 2 different times to break free. It looked like he'd been caught in the middle for only about a 5 or 6 yard gain. Put a stiff arm right there. Next guy trying to come up and tackle, stiff arm him. Great job of running right there.
So 1st down, the 7th of this opening half for the Slicers. And here is another handoff, couple of yards to around the 46. Let's see, the ball carrier that time was Long. Long to the 46. Give him 3. 2nd and 7 for LaPorte.
Chesterton defense doing a really nice job right now, not giving up any big plays. Because this offense, like we talked about in the pregame, Jerry, been averaging 50 points a game so far tonight. Only 7 points in a quarter and almost a half.
So 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for LaPorte. And this football right up the middle. That is Long again to the 49. Give him a pickup of 3.
And the majority of plays, LaPorte is just doing simply just base blocking, which means they're getting up on the guy that's in front of them and just driving them back. They pull every once in a while, but not too often.
3rd and 4 for the Slicers. They are now out to their own 49-yard line. LaPorte leading 7-0. We're in the 2nd quarter. Clock moving. It's 7:15 remaining. So let's see. Double tights again with the 3 backs. See who gets it this time for LaPorte. This time it's going to be Franciconi. Franciconi is going to...
Stops right at the 1st down marker.
Well, if they mark it at the 46 where the near side official ran in, then he'll have it by a yard, and that's what they're going to do.
Yep, they're moving it right along. And looks like LaPorte, they're very happy just getting 4, 5, 6 yards of play. Just keep those chains moving.
That's a 5-yard pickup for Franciconi and a 1st down for LaPorte. Now in Chesterton territory at the 46-yard line.
not the style of offense, but the philosophy reminds me of Lowell's philosophy.
This is Williams, left side. Williams, I saw him laying near the 43, but it looks like the officials are marking it at the 44. That'll be a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
You know what I'm saying, Jerry? It's just like they're willing to have their offense out. If it takes 7 minutes to go down the field and score, they're content with that.
Yeah, they're hoping that at any given play they're going to bust something big in a hurry.
But if they get 3, 4, 5 yards of play, they seem to be very happy with that.
It's not exactly a wishbone attack, but it reminds me of Griffith in their heyday.
Yeah.
They're going to bring one of the backs out of the backfield, Franciconi. Zaney, quick throw, catch made, and I believe that's Cooper. He's stretching out to the 35. Let's see if they give him.
Oh, and they threw a flag. Looks like they're going to throw possibly a late hit.
36-yard line is where Cooper was brought down, 8 yards on the play. Very close to the first down. Let's see how they mark it.
Personal foul against LaPorte.
So that will back this up. Now, does he have the first down? Because it's after the play, correct?
It was a late flag, but it doesn't look like they're moving the first down markers. They're not moving the first down markers, so it's going to be, and the chains have not turned, so it's going to be 2nd down, and it looks like about 16 yards.
The football goes back to the LaPorte 49.
You know what? I was watching the pass, and I didn't see what was going on behind the play. Basically, all they did was fake the dive and threw a dump pass right to the tight end. Tight end just released right behind the linebacker, sat there and waited for a pass. Nice little play design right there, but bad play by somebody getting a late hit out there.
So, Zaney, long conversation on the sideline with his head coach. Although the play clock has not been started yet by the official, the game clock is stopped at 5:56 here in the second period.
The official going over to both sides and explaining the penalty. So now he's got the game clock going.
And here come the Slicers to the line of scrimmage. They're going to put one receiver out to the left this time. That's the wide side of the formation. Zaney under center. The handoff is going to go to Long, and Long gets across midfield, across the 45, the 40, and bulls his way down to the 38, and that's going to be a first down for Chesterton.
Wow. LaPorte.
I'm sorry, for LaPorte. That for them too, yeah.
But a nice job of running and hitting that hole and hitting it quickly. Boy, when he gets that ball, Jerry, he is hitting a hole and he accelerates into it.
13 yards on the pickup for Long. First down, Slicers at the Chesterton 38. Williams going to get it this time. Found some room on the left side. Gets across the 35 down near the 32. 6 on that carry for Long.
Boy, nice job by the right guard. That's Nate Warnock pulling on the play and leading up into the hole and getting in front of the running back right there to get a good push and get a good play on first down.
I'm sorry, that was Williams on that carry for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 for the Slicers. 4:57 clock moves here in the second quarter. 7-0 LaPorte. And Mazzani with his first carry of the night, and he's got the edge and a first down, stepping out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Mazzani doing a nice job faking a couple handoffs and then just taking it and go. You know, I mean, with only his few carries on the season, you know, you don't even think about the quarterback running the ball for the LaPorte Slicers.
So, actually, they say he stepped out of bounds at the 26.
It looked like he got a little bit further downfield, didn't it?
He stepped out of bounds at the 20 is what it looked like. But then again, we're all the way on the opposite side of the field. The only thing it does is make me redo all my numbers. And LaPorte's not going to wait for me to do it either.
Now they are right now.
Okay. 6 yards for Mazzani. Another first down for LaPorte. That is their 10th first down of this first half. Quick handoff. Down across the 25, near the 23 goes the ball carrier. And that was Williams on the carry.
Looks like a pickup of about 3 yards there.
2nd and 7. You are correct, sir.
Trying to work on that math.
You are very good at your math. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
But again, just a long, just a hard-fought drive by LaPorte.
Second down. Mazzani rolling. Now he's in trouble. Manages to get the edge on the left side. Gets tackled out of bounds right around the 22-yard line. But it looked like Chesterton had him dead to rights outside the 30 for a sack, but Mazzani able to escape, elude the tacklers, and get something positive out of that play, or at least get it back to the original line of scrimmage.
You know what, like you said, Jerry, it looked like once he broke to the outside, it looked like he had some positive yards, and it was number 4, Mason Kalitha, came out of nowhere and made a great tackle.
3rd and 7 now for the Slicers. Clock stopped at 4:05 left in this opening quarter. I'm sorry, opening half, excuse me. Williams has it. Oh, now Williams has to reverse field, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Back behind the 30. 41 on the tackle for Chesterton. He's on there. Brandon Del Valle.
Yeah, what a great job. Stayed home, stayed with his assignment, and once he saw the ball coming to him, stepped up and made a huge play for the Chesterton Trojans.
That's a loss of 9 on that play. And it's going to bring up 4th down and long, 4th and about 15. Make it 16 for the Slicers.
It'd be a 49-yard field goal from here, so this is definitely out of their field goal kicker's range.
So
even
LaPorte,
with
they're letting the play clock run
Yeah.
down. Are they going to use a TO? I think so.
Well, you know what?
Nope, they're going to let the delay of game happen.
That way, if they're going to punt, and hopefully this way it'll help the punter keep the ball out of the goal, out of the end zone.
And that'll push the football back on the penalty to the 37-yard line. We have had, that's 6 penalties in the game. That's the first 5-yarder. They've all been big ones other than that.
Yeah, a lot of personal fouls so far in this game.
Yep. So, Chesterton going to send one man deep. 3:12 left in this first half.
Yeah, move him up to the 10-yard line. Put your heels on the 10 and don't go backwards.
That is Rondinelli. Streeter, the punter. Here's the boot. And Rondinelli's going to let it hit, and it went out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks it as he continues to walk up the far sideline. He's going to mark it at the 13-yard line. That's where the punt from Streeter went out of bounds, and that's where Chesterton will begin with 3:03 left in the first half. Trojans ball 1st and 10 from their own 13. Slicers with the lead, 7-0.
Well, I think right now, Jerry, I don't think Chesterton's really going to try anything crazy. If they break something up the field, then they might try to put their 2-minute offense in play here. But until they get about to the 35-yard line, I would say just run the ball, try and get a couple first downs, and be happy you're down 7-0 at halftime.
What you have to be careful of, though, is LaPorte has some timeouts,
Exactly.
and LaPorte has to win at their back. You need to get some positive yards
Yes.
so you're not forced to punt, and LaPorte has good field position in a minute or so to go. Slatkoff going to run option, the pitch.
Stay in bounds.
And that is Rondinelli on the carry, getting out to the 20-yard line. Pick up a 7 on the play.
Well, it looks like the running back did go out of bounds. It looked like about 2 or 3 seconds burnt off the clock. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing after the play was been called dead.
They're going to say the 19-yard line, so give Rondinelli 6 on that carry. Well, make it 5.
Well, they changed the clock back to 2:54. Add an extra 5 seconds back on the clock.
So it's second down, 2nd and 5 after that run by Rondinelli. And this is a keep by the quarterback, and he's going to have a first down out to the 28-yard line.
Boy, nice job of Mazzani taking that ball. Once he pulled it, cut straight upfield and got as many yards as he possibly can. Too many quarterbacks nowadays try to bounce it all the way to the outside. You got to foul that back and go right behind him, and he did an excellent job of doing that.
Just because we don't want his parents mad, that's Garrett Slatkoff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the LaPorte side. I didn't flip my sheet
Game's
over.
moving too fast. We can't keep up with this stuff. Trips this time to the right side. One receiver left. Slatkoff. Fakes the handoff. Now he's looking to throw. Pressure, trying to set up a screen. Gets the pass complete on the far side. Coming back to the near side. That's Rondinelli trying to get the edge. He's at the 30. 35 on a nice move. Gets away from a slicer and gets out to the 39.
Well, it's going to be real close.
Boy,
to
is
be a
it.
First down.
The officials are saying he was down at the 38.
Yep, and they're moving the chains.
But they're going to give him the 10 on the pickup and a first down for Chesterton.
He picked up 10, but he probably ran about 60 yards on that play to get that first down. All the way across the field.
So, first down. Slatkoff keeps. Right side. He's across the 40. Gets to the 45. Give him 7 on that carry.
Now, Slatkoff, again, reading that guy play effectively, and it looks like Chesterton now out to midfield, just about midfield, calling a timeout. See if they can punch in some type of score. With this strong window, Jerry, you really got to be no more out than maybe the 15-yard line for a field goal attempt. So they're thinking touchdown right now.
So a timeout for Chesterton. I have them for their first here in the half. 1:58 on the clock. 7-0 Slicers. Fans of Region Sports, while you're online, check out the #1 student NWI features. That's published by our friends at nwindianalife.com. 27 Northwest Indiana schools are participating, including Lake Central, Munster, Crown Point, and Lowell, with stories straight from the students. The eyes and ears of positive news and events in the schools. You can find all these great stories at nwindianalife.com/1studentnwi. Second down and 3 for Chesterton. 2 backs in, a receiver both left and right. Slatkoff keeps after the fake, and he's going to be near midfield and a first down.
Nice job again reading that play. The fullback got hit right as he was pulling it out and found his fullback into the hole. Got the first down. He's getting better as the game's going. Slatkoff and reading those defensive fronts.
So first down on the carry. First and 10 for Chesterton. They're out to their own 49-yard line. Going to put 2 receivers each way this time, as Slatkoff will continue to work from the shotgun. Keeps setting Stewart left, right. Right now he's on the left. Put a man in motion. Rondinelli. It's going to be a swing pass to Rondinelli here on the left side. He's got it, 50, 45, 40, and that should be enough for a Chesterton first down.
Boy, nice job by the wide receiver out there, number 89. That's Colt Tunzuski. Did a nice job of setting that block up as a wide receiver. That block took forever, and he sustained it the whole time, getting that receiver around to the wide side of the field, from the wide side to the short side, and picked up the first down. Nice job of blocking out there.
Stay tuned after the second quarter for the Herm Hoagie halftime report, underwritten by Remax Realty Associates. Herm and Chris Hoagie of Munster. They're on the web at regionhomes.com.
So the Chesterton Trojans moving the ball from where did they start this drive at, Jerry?
13-yard line.
13-yard line. Offense is waking up here. It seems like they're getting a little more diverse, spreading the ball around, throwing some passes, doing some more reverses and stuff like that. So it's really opening up the offense, and they're moving.
Was that the timeout by Chesterton? That would be their second. 1:24 left on the first half clock.
Yes, it was by Chesterton.
And at halftime, Nathan will be getting us some scores from back at the studio. And we'll give you a report on what we have going on here in the first half. How'd the football, let's see, ball at the 40. Okay. First and 10 Trojans from the LaPorte 40-yard line. Chesterton trying to tie this thing up before the break, and don't forget, they won the toss and deferred. They will get the football to start the third quarter as well. So a big momentum change can happen in these next few minutes. End of this quarter, start of the third. Slatkoff. He's going to drop straight back. He's looking to throw. He's looking over the middle. Fires downfield. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Mattistill.
Nice job by the free safety for LaPorte, reading the quarterback's eyes and following the ball and almost intercepting it. Did a great job because, you looked at the quarterback. He sort of looked to his left, then came back to the right and tried to thread that needle in there. I thought the receiver, the slot receiver, the third receiver to that wide side running the crossing route was open, but he chose that guy.
So that stops the clock, second and 10. Good throw into the wind.
Yes, it was. He's got a nice arm.
2 receivers to the right, 1 left. Left is the short side of the formation, ball in the near hash. Here's a handoff. Across the 35, down near the 33 is the ball carrier. And the ball carrier was Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart did a nice job finding that hole just on the delay a little bit. And James Vandery, number 72, leading up into the hole and getting a nice block on the linebacker down the field.
Stewart picked up 6 on the play. 3rd and a long 4. Slatkoff rolls to his right. Now he finds some room up the middle as he's flushed from the pocket. He's across the 30, steps out of bounds. He's going to be very close to the first down, Jay. It's going to depend on where the ball is marked. And it will be a first down.
Wow, nice job. Nice job of the quarterback, Slatkoff, right there, knowing where the first down marker was and getting that first down on just enough.
4 yards on the pickup for Garrett Slatkoff, and it's a first down for Chesterton. They are at the LaPorte 30.
Sletkoff doing a great job managing this drive the whole length of the field. 43-9 All right.
Left in this first half. Trips going wide side right. 1 receiver near side left. 1 back to help protect. I'm sure this is a passing route. Chesterton running out of time. Stewart stays in. Slatkoff steps up. He finds a man open at the back of the end zone. Underthrew it. Streeter picks it. Owen Streeter with the pick in the end zone and brings it back out to the 27-yard line.
Sletkoff was doing a great job reading the defenses, throwing to open receivers, and that one he just tried to throw while he was moving, and that ball hung up in the air, Jerry, and it was picked off easily by the free safety. What he's been doing is he's been looking at that one receiver. That's the second time they've run that same route. That slot receiver is running a streak pattern. That inside receiver, the third receiver to that side, is running about 15 yards and across, and he's been open both times. They've got to get him to throw to that guy.
You know, the man he was trying to go to was open, but the ball was underthrown. He could get it out to him and lead him to the back of the end zone. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, I think the free safety baited him a little bit and just hung back and tried to got to the ball when he could.
Quick hitter up the middle. Williams with the football to the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. Deion Williams.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the last play of the half.
A very quick first half as we approach 5 minutes to the top of the hour. 2nd and 7 officially is what it is for the Slicers, who lead this one 7-0. And there is your horn ending the first half of this one. At the break here at Chesterton, it's the LaPorte Slicers 7 and the Chesterton Trojans nothing. You're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This is Herm Hoagie of RE/MAX Realty Associates of Munster. Stay tuned, everybody, for the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report, which is coming up soon, right here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
McShane's Total Graphic Solutions puts your company name and logo on just about anything. We offer a full line of custom marketing products and services like custom imprinted mugs, pens, and magnets, quality employee apparel, with custom imprinting and embroidery, executive gifts, customer appreciation and gifts, and so much more. McShane staff can help you select the right items to help you achieve excellent results. McShane's 1-800-837-1400 or online at mcshanes.com.
Hey, it's Tara for Christensen Chevy. Christensen Chevrolet is a local family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership celebrating over 60 years in the community, serving all of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. If you stop in, you can see why families and businesses have put their trust in us for generations. At Christensen, we have an enormous inventory of new Chevys with all of your favorite models in stock, ready for immediate delivery, because that's the Christensen way. We're Christensen Chevrolet, proud sponsor of our great local high school athletic programs on Indy Boulevard in Highland, or visit ChristensenChevy.com.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings wants to team up with Region High Schools to share the excitement of homecoming by sponsoring the halftime festivities with the B-Dubs street team and mascot. For participating schools, the fun includes a wings delivery to the press box, a t-shirt toss for fans, a chance to win a B-Dubs spirit bag with any concession stand purchase before halftime, and a fans photo opportunity with the B-Dubs mascot. This is a first-come, first-served promotion based on availability and dates, so for more information on booking Buffalo Wild Wings for your school's homecoming, you can call 586-663-0707 and ask for Lisa Bissett. That number again is 586-663-0707. Morris Baseball and Softball Center, a new baseball and softball development program in Northwest Indiana, provides instruction for aspiring athletes. The staff at Morris Baseball and Softball Center has over 95 years of combined professional experience, and they provide instruction which includes game-tested methods used by major league teams. Located inside Omni 41 in Schererville, Morris Baseball and Softball provides disciplined, well-organized practices and places players in highly competitive opportunities to achieve success. For more information on Morris Baseball and Softball, the phone number is 227-5250, and the website is morrisbaseballcenter.com.
Herm and Chris Hoagie, broker-owners of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster, are award-winning realtors with over 30 years of experience. Their team of over 35 agents is ready to help with any and all real estate needs in Lake and Porter counties, as well as the southeast Chicago suburbs. They can be found on the web at regionhomes.com. Herm and Chris Hoagie are proud to underwrite the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report during tonight's game.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Welcome back to the Region Sports Network studios, everybody. Nathan Laird here with the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report, underwritten by the RE/MAX Realty team of Herm and Chris Hoagie in Munster. They're on the web at regionhomes.com. We got some scores from around Northwest Indiana, including a pair of games you can hear right here on the Region Sports Network that have been fantastic ball games through the first half in both contests. The game you're listening to right here on 90.5 The Key and online at regionsportsradio.com and watching live on regionsportsvision.com. LaPorte leads RSN number 4. LaPorte leads RSN number 7 Chesterton 7-0 at the break. In our other feature game tonight here on Chevy Dealers Game Night, Munster leads Andrean 14-7. That game just finishing up the first half as well. You can watch that one on regionsportsvision.com. Down at the Inferno, RSN number 1 Lowell continues to roll. In the second quarter, they lead the Griffith Panthers 41-6. Don't be surprised if we see a running clock in the second half. Down at the Inferno, RSN number 3 Lake Central leads Crown Point 14-0 that game in the second quarter. The Wheeler Bearcats looking to pull off an upset over RSN number 6 Whiting. Of course, Wheeler ranked number 9 in the RSN top 10. They lead Whiting 21-7 in the second quarter. In that one, another upset. Too early to call this one an upset in the making, but an RSN top 10 team that is losing in the second quarter. Morton leads Hammond High 14-12. Hanover Central holds a 6-0 lead over River Forest at the end of one. Maryville up over Portage 14-3. That game also in the second quarter. Valpo blanking Michigan City 21-0 in the second quarter in that Duneland Conference rivalry showdown. And how about this score? Hobart all over the Kankakee Valley Cougars 35-0. The Brickies lead Hobart, looking to even up their record at 2-2 on the season. KB trying to avoid falling to 2-2, but it's not looking good for the Cougars with K. Again, Hobart's up 35-0 in the second quarter. Another game that is pretty one-sided so far. Highland leads Clark 34-0 that game in the second quarter as well. South Central over Bishop Knoll 19-8 in the second quarter. Calumet and North Newton are scoreless at the end of one. Boone Grove leads Lake Station 16-0. That ball game also in the second quarter. Other games taking place around Northwest Indiana tonight that we're still looking for scores for. You can help us out by liking us on Facebook at facebook.com/regionsports and reporting these scores to us. Gavitt is at Pete Rosinski Field, taking on the East Chicago Central Cardinals. Roosevelt is hosting LaPorte La Lumiere. Westside is at Huntley of Illinois. Rensselaer Central is hosting Twin Lakes, and North Judson travels to Knox. We're going to keep updating all those scores all night long on that Facebook page. Again, that's facebook.com/regionsports, or you can follow us on Twitter if that's your thing. We're at the RSN. That's THERSN, and of course we'll have all of the scores, highlights, news on the RSN Football Friday Night Wrap-Up Show. We're on the air till 11 o'clock tonight right here on 90.5 The Key and on regionsportsradio.com, so we'll have all those finals for you. And then, of course, we'll have them all on regionsports.com by the end of the evening. So we'll get you all those scores as they come in and as they go final. Stay with the Region Sports Network for all of that. You're listening to the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report, underwritten by our friends at the RE/MAX Realty Associates of Herm and Chris Hoagie in Munster, on the web at regionhomes.com. We're going to take one more time out, and then we're going to send it back out to Bannery Field. Jerry Siska and Jay Simmons are standing by. They're going to break down the first half of action between the Slicers and the Trojans and preview what's ahead in the second half. You're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, everybody. This is Herm Hoagie of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster. I want to thank you for listening to the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep. Quality, family, convenience, trust. The four interlocking diamonds that symbolize United Federal Credit Union represent our commitment to our members. Quality, what we strive for in every transaction. Family, we have products and financial advice for every stage of life, like we would for our own family. Convenience, we are constantly adding ways to make our products more convenient, like mobile banking, online banking, and 24-hour telephone banking. Service, our service-oriented staff will take the time to get to know you on a personal level. United Federal Credit Union in Griffith. We'll get you there.
Concussions occur when trauma to the head or spine temporarily interferes with brain function. Seeking medical care as soon as possible is important in making a full recovery and reduces the risk of developing long-term problems. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart have a team of medical professionals experienced in evaluating and treating concussions. If you have a head or neck injury, don't wait. Head to the experts. For a head injury on the field, the court, or the ice, the phone number of the concussion clinics is 219-836-4461.
Misprint can help your team's identification with team banners, trading cards, personalized team posters, stickers, decals, and fundraising ideas too. Misprint has two locations, 8244 Calumet Avenue in Munster and in Hammond at 6931 Calumet Avenue. Both locations open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and in Munster, Saturdays till noon. Online, it's misprintusa.com. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, designs, and signs. It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Welcome back to the Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network on 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point, 90.5 FM, WRTK, Paxton, Illinois. It's underwritten by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers, Chevrolet, the talk of the town. Along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you here at Chesterton High School, and you are listening to the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report. It's underwritten by RE/MAX Realty Associates, Herm and Chris Hoagie in Munster, available for all your real estate needs. Halftime here, the LaPorte Slicers leading the Chesterton Trojans by a score of 7-0. And Jay, why don't you recap all that scoring for us there, buddy? Only score came in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Gino Fransconi for LaPorte, a 1-yard run, PAT good. That came at 1:27 left in the first quarter. And other than that, it's been a pretty quiet game in between the red zone. I mean, inside the red zone so far today.
And to be very fair, Fransconi actually got about 9/10 of a yard as a favor because the football was right outside the goal line. That ball was never even near the 1-yard line. But officially, you can't have an inch. You have to have a yard. So that's the only score of the night. We'll take a look at some of the unofficial statistics. Let's start for the LaPorte Slicers. The three backfield mates. The top ball carriers for LaPorte tonight, Brennan Long, 9 carries for 50. Deion Williams, 11 carries for 43. And Gino Franciconi, 7 carries for 22. Scott Cooper with 2 catches for 21, as Eric Mazzani was 2 for 4 in the opening half. So 121 yards of total, 121 yards on the ground for LaPorte on 29 carries, 21 yards in the air on 2 of 4 passing, 142 yards of total offense for the Slicers, 10 first downs, 4 penalties for 50 yards. For the Chesterton Trojans, the leading ground gainer was their quarterback, Garrett Slatkoff, 5 carries for 27 yards, and 4 of those carries came in that final drive, Jay, as he only carried 1 time in the opening quarter. Rhett Rondinelli had 2 carries for 6. Louis Razzo had a carry for 3, and Daquan Stewart had 3 carries for 9. Rhett Rondinelli, 4 catches for 36 yards, and Logan Hofer, 1 catch for 31, as Garrett Slatkoff in the first half threw 5 of 12 for 67 yards. They ran the ball 11 times for 45 yards. Chesterton had 112 yards of total offense, 6 first downs, 2 penalties for 23 yards. But the one note I hadn't mentioned yet, Garrett Slatkoff's interception that came right there before the half. It's the only turnover of the ball game. Chesterton had it. They were driving, and they had a chance to get this thing tied up before the break, but the pick by Owen Streeter ended that scoring chance.
You know, we talked in the pregame, the Christensen Chevrolet keys to the game, and we talked about LaPorte at a +6 on the season in turnover ratio. Now they're +7. Came at a key moment in the game. I mean, couldn't have planned it out any better than that. Right there, a huge turnover. It was just with just a few ticks left on the clock. And then Chesterton, for their keys to the game, Chesterton defense played well, holding them under double digits so far. They're only giving up 7 points. So both of those keys coming big into the game so far. Right now, you got the field goal kicker for Chesterton out there at the south end of the stadium, kicking 25-yard field goals pretty consistently, but that's with the wind at his back, and he's nailing them, Jerry. So they're looking for, they've already missed 1 field goal at the midpoint in the first quarter, so hopefully they can get in that situation again. If they can't punch it in, they can get a field goal and cut the score down.
So 7-0, the Slicers lead the Trojans here at the half. And before we turn it back over to the studio to pay a few bills and start the third quarter, let's get you up to date on what's going on in Major League Baseball. Doubleheader in Philadelphia as a result of last night's rainout behind Jake Arrieta. The Cubs win the opener 5-1 out at Citizens Bank Park, and the Cubs lead the nightcap 3-0 in the second inning. So right now, the Cubs find themselves 2 games behind Pittsburgh in the wild card chase, a 9.5 game cushion over San Francisco, and a 10 game cushion over Washington at this very moment. St. Louis leads the division, of course. Pitt 4.5 back. Cubs now 6.5 behind St. Louis. Some other scores that matter in that whole race. Pittsburgh leading Milwaukee 3-2 in the 6th inning. Washington and Miami are tied at 1 in the 6th. The Cardinals and the Reds tied at 2 in the middle of the 7th. And now in the top of the 4th, the Minnesota Twins lead the White Sox over at U.S. Cellular Field 1-0. So there's your Major League Baseball scores. Nathan got you caught up on the high school scores. We're going to take a quick break before kick. 7-0. LaPorte Chesterton going to get the football to start the third. Back after this, you're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi everybody, this is Herm Hoagie of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster. I want to thank you for listening to the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hey, it's Tara for Christensen Chevy. Christensen Chevrolet is a local family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership celebrating over 60 years in the community, serving all of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. If you stop in, you can see why families and businesses have put their trust in us for generations. At Christensen, we have an enormous inventory of new Chevys with all of your favorite models in stock, ready for immediate delivery, because that's the Christensen way. We're Christensen Chevrolet, proud sponsor of our great local high school athletic programs on Indy Boulevard in Highland, or visit ChristensenChevy.com.
Buffalo Wild Wings wants to team up with Region High Schools to share the excitement of homecoming by sponsoring the halftime festivities with the B-Dubs street team and mascot. For participating schools, the fun includes a wings delivery to the press box, a t-shirt toss for fans, a chance to win a B-Dubs spirit bag with any concession stand purchase before halftime, and a fans photo opportunity with the B-Dubs mascot. This is a first-come, first-served promotion based on availability and dates, so for more information on booking Buffalo Wild Wings for your school's homecoming, you can call 586-663-0707 and ask for Lisa Bissett. That number again is 586-663-0707.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you here at Chesterton High School as we get set to begin the third period. About a minute and a half till we do that. 7-0. LaPorte leads Chesterton, and you're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer, Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. Number 1. This broadcast is a production of the Region Sports Network. Any other use, duplication, reproduction, or retransmission of the accounts and descriptions of this contest without the expressed written consent of the Region Sports Network is prohibited. While we have time, we want to mention some of the members of the Region Sports Network team. The management team, Chris Ramirez is the executive producer, Mike Bonaventura, the chief engineer, Nathan Laird, our coordinating producer, our video man tonight, Ken Siegfried. And if you log on to regionsports.com, you can not only enjoy Jay and I mean, how much more fun can you possibly have on a Friday night than listening to us? You can watch the football game as well. Our RSN game producer is Nick Russ. Our video producer is Nathan Laird. The station manager over at WRTW, Jody McManus. So something for Chesterton will get the ball to begin the third quarter. What would you like to see out of the Trojans in this opening drive, Jay?
I would like them to stay with that open style offense. They had a great drive going at the end of the second quarter. They mixed in the pass and the run, and they were very effective, a little bit of option. So I would like to see them stay with that mix of pass and run and keep that LaPorte Slicer defense off balance. They did a great job right at the end of the half, so let's see if they can keep it up.
So Rondinelli, the man in the middle, as Chesterton gets set to return this kick. And that is 21, Louis Razzo. And over on the far side, 28, Lyric McFerrin. They're all deep to return the kick as we get set to start the third quarter. Here's the boot, and we're underway. And that's going to be Razzo at the 2. Backpedaling, takes it at the 5, goes to the far side, 10, 15, and will be dropped at the 19-yard line. So that is where Chesterton will begin. 1st and 10 from their own 19.
Well, the last two possessions for Chesterton have started inside their own 20.
So 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Garrett Slatkoff brings his club out onto the field. Been a pretty clean football game. As we just mentioned during the Herm Hoagie halftime report, just one turnover.
Yes.
And I don't even know if they're trying that pass if there was more time on the clock, because they were under half a minute and they needed to get something accomplished. So it's been a pretty clean first half, quite honestly. Slatkoff working from the shotgun, just one man in the backfield with him. And it is going to be a handoff. And that looks like Stewart. It is, as Stewart gets out 28, maybe the 29-yard line. The official here on the near side coming in saying the 29, and that would be enough for a first down, Jay.
Boy, Stewart, just 5'7", 165 pounds, just bowls his way through the Slicer's defense.
That will be a first down for the Chesterton Trojans. That's a good way to start the third quarter.
It is.
Slatkoff, and he's going to hand off on the belly option. Not much there that time, going up the middle of the ball carrier. That's Stewart again.
Well, it looked like the tight end down to the bottom here, closest to us, looked like he had about a half a step ahead of everybody else, but no call on the play. They tried to go back to the same play, but to the opposite side, nothing doing. LaPorte sniffed it out.
No gain on that play. 2nd and 10 for the Chesterton Trojans. They're going to put 2 receivers here to the left side this time and put a couple of backs in the backfield with Slatkoff, who again works from the shotgun. He has been there all evening.
Yeah,
and we have a whistle.
Now they got the tight end on this play because he was, again, a half a step ahead of the entire team.
And that'll be a 5-yard penalty, moving the football back to the 24 and giving Chesterton a 1st and 15.
Nope, that would be 2nd and 15.
My apologies. That's right. There was no gain on the first play, was there?
Yep. Now Chesterton can't let that momentum of the first play of the second half slip away from them. They've got to keep moving here.
So 2nd and 15 for the Trojans. As
get
Jay
half here.
Get appropriately half here. Pointed out.
Get half here and then half on 3rd down. So try and pick up 6 or 7 here.
He's doing good. I'm trying to mess with him, and he's keeping a straight face and telling you folks about the football game. Here is a handoff. Getting out near the 29-yard line is the ball carrier, who has about 3 slicers hanging all over him, so it'll take a second to figure out who we've got here. I believe it's Stewart. And it is. Stewart to the 29. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10 as Stewart managed to get the penalty yardage back.
Well, big play here for the Trojans. They've got to get a 1st down here, especially with that strong wind. It was 10 to 15 mile an hour wind coming out of the north. So they want to try and get that 1st down so the Slicers don't get the ball possibly on their half of the field.
Well, they're going to bring 2 receivers over here to the near side. Looks like Tazinski, and then in the slot, Rondinelli. And then they're going to put 2 receivers over on the far side as well. One back to stay in to protect. Rondinelli is going to move to that short side right, and again a flag.
It looked like the center flinched just a little bit. They're going to go back right back where they were.
And it's going to bring up 3rd and 15. As ball back to the 24. So 3rd and 15, just underway here in the 3rd quarter. 9:45 left in the frame. 7-0 LaPorte. Trips coming this side to the left side of the formation. That's wide. 1 receiver right side. Slatkoff has something to say to the back. Now turns, barks out the signals, and here we go. He's looking left, looking left, looking left. Wanted to roll right, being flushed from the pocket, and he's not going to get anywhere except drop. Oh. And now we've got a penalty flag thrown at the point of the tackle at the 18.
It looks like that might have been a face mask or just a late hit out of bounds. I couldn't tell. They're on the opposite side from us, and we just couldn't tell.
So the ball's at the 17th. So Slatkoff on the carry lost 7 yards.
Yeah, it looks like the coach for LaPorte's trying to negotiate on that one. He's right up in the official's face over there.
Trying to plead his cases.
Yeah. I don't know if there is any negotiating. Once they throw that flag, they're not going to pull it back.
Dave Sharp in his first year here at LaPorte.
But that will give them, it looks...
It's going to move the ball out to the 32, so it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on LaPorte. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Does that look about right?
Yep.
A lot of penalty yards for LaPorte, 65.
Ouch.
Slatkoff, long time on barking out the signals. And he keeps, runs option, pitches up the sideline, 1st down and more to midfield. That's Rondinelli.
Nice job right there. Slatkoff taking that ball all the way to the defensive end, waiting until he commits. He gets hit, pitches that ball out there. Great job. Short side of the field option. I don't like it, but it was very successful right there for Chesterton.
18 on the pickup and a 1st down for the Trojans. Ball at midfield with 9:13 left in the 3rd quarter. 7-0 Slicers. So much for that 52-point average LaPorte has.
Yeah.
So far, so good on the 8-point defensive average for Chesterton.
Yes.
Slatkoff going to keep after faking, and he's got some room. He found room on the right side. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in for the Chesterton touchdown.
Wow, what a great play by the Chesterton quarterback. As he was reading that option, he pulled it just at the last second, and as he pulled it, two defensive players came up to him. He froze him with a little hand fake and then cut it back all the way against the grain and outran the Slicer defense for the score. Well, that's a huge play to start the second half.
Garrett Slatkoff, a 50-yard touchdown run, brings his club within one. Here's Nate Needham for the tying PAT. It's up, and it is good.
Ooh, close.
With 9:03 left in the third quarter, we have a new ball game. It's now Chesterton 7, LaPorte 7. Back with more after this. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Tech Credit Union can help you get the cash you need for home improvement, education costs, or any other purpose. Unlock your home's equity with a home equity loan featuring a 3.99 annual percentage rate, 7-year repayment term, and no closing costs. With a fixed rate, your monthly payment won't change during your loan term. To learn more, visit techcu.org or call them at 800-276-TECH. That's 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Rates may change without notice.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Welcome back to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point, 90.5 FM, WRTK Paxton, Illinois. It's underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. For more details on the great Chevy lineup, the website is ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Fair catch made by Scott Cooper on the short kick. LaPorte's going to have some great field position as they will begin at their own 43-yard line. He's Jay Simmons. I'm Jerry Siska. We're coming to you live from Chesterton High School and hope you're enjoying the broadcast, whether on the radio, the internet, or on the video stream. Ken Siegfried just outside the door here on the camera, bringing you all the action.
Tried just a little pooch kick right there, try to get to it before somebody fair caught it. You know, even if you try and kick it deep there, you're only going to be kicking it to maybe the 25-yard line. So nice try right there, trying to get a quick possession out of it.
So LaPorte, after scoring in the opening quarter, now finds themselves tied. Let's see how they respond. Mazzani, handoff, and that is Long on the carry to the 45. Just a couple of yards on that pickup for Brennan Long, second down.
Boy, nice job of that defensive front. Armando Millard, 5'11", 235, stuffed the fullback right in the hole. Hold him only to 2 yards. Nice job right there by the defensive front for Chesterton.
Second and 8 for LaPorte. Here in the third quarter, the Slicers going towards the south end zone. It's left right on the radio dial. Here is a handoff, and that is Long again, and Long is going to have a first down into Chesterton territory.
A busted assignment right there by one of the defensive front people, just letting the fullback go and not staying with the assignments. We talked about it earlier, Jerry. Every play, they've got to hit one of those backs, and they went for the quarterback on that play, and the fullback got the ball and busted it up for, looks like, a first down.
Yep, that will give Long 60 yards on 11 carries after that 8-yard run. First and 10 for the LaPorte Slicers. They're in Chesterton territory at the 47. We're at 6:05 to play in the third quarter. Ball game tied at 7 apiece. Quick handoff, fullback, right near the 45-yard line on the carry.
Now the Chesterton Trojan defense stuck with their assignments on that play, and we were able to stuff them right in the hole. But you know what? With the fullback, and you're stuffing him in the hole, and he's still picking up 2 yards, that's pretty good for LaPorte, because you know what? They're starting to get those defensive ends and linebackers to start creeping in a little bit, and then they bust it to the outside. Could be for a big play.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowell Company is proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. Second and 8 handoff. This is Franciconi, a nice cutback. He's got a first down, another one. Gets him in the 20, now he's in midfield, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone for the Slicer touchdown. But we've got a flag on the play. It's coming back as a hold. Flag back here at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it was holding by Scott Cooper, the defensive end, right at the point of attack. grabbed the defensive end on the play and just held on, and that's where the running back made the cut to the outside and then cut it back all the way against the grain. Nice call by the officials on that play.
But this will go back
Yes.
10 yards, wipe out the touchdown. That was a nice run by Gino Franciconi, but all for nothing.
But yeah, Cooper right there on the play just grabbed his guy. He had good leverage on him, but then as he was trying to come off the block, he grabbed him. You could see the shirt pull, and the officials caught it.
So out to midfield, or back to midfield, goes LaPorte, and it will remain first down, and it will be 1st and 13 after the walk-off from the point of the foul. Still got to give Franciconi 6 yards on the carry before the hold occurred. And so, 2nd down, 2nd and 13 for LaPorte. They're going to send one receiver out wide left. That's the wide side of this formation. Mazzani under center. Handoff, and this is Long, and Long found some room up the middle. Gets near the 40, actually we'll say the 41-yard line. 9 on the carry for Brennan Long.
Yeah, Long was lined up to the left side of the quarterback. He had the two backs leading up into the hole, and Long crosses the quarterback's face and ends up going over to right guard. Nice gain on the play.
3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Slicers with 6:50 left in this third quarter. 7-7 between LaPorte and Chesterton.
That big play here for the Trojans. Got to stop them. Conversion downtime.
Mazzani under center. This is going to be Williams with it this time, and Williams going to get a couple, but he's not going to get enough. It's going to be 4th down.
Oh, and then a penalty. Looks like one of the Chesterton players was trying to grab, as the whistle was blown, grab the legs of the running back and tried to drag him backwards well after the whistle.
2 yards on the carry. 4th down.
Oh, no, they're calling it. They're going to call it on. It looks like they're going to call it against LaPorte. So do you take it 4th down and...
Well, it's going to be 4th and 3. They're actually giving him only a yard to the 40.
Personal foul, so they're going to take him back.
So just a yard on the carry, and then another major penalty against the Slicers. So that'll be 15 yards on that one. 90 yards on 7 penalties tonight for LaPorte.
Yeah. And I think most of the penalties have been personal fouls.
3rd down, 3rd and 18 it looks like for LaPorte from their own 45-yard line. This time the receivers are out left and right. Mazzani, quick swing pass, caught on the far side. It only gets out to midfield, Not much there.
Nice job by the Chesterton defense staying home on the backside and coming up with the tackle. That looks like that was the cornerback out there for Chesterton. That's it looked like number 4, I think. Was that Mason?
Owen Kalitha
Yep.
was the corner that was there. That was Owen Streeter with the catch. That's going to bring up 4th down. Losing my pen here.
Yeah, it looks like the ball will be spotted at about the 16-yard line, so not a bad kick with the wind at their back. But the Chesterton Trojans defense makes a huge stand. You can feel the crowd starting to get into the momentum and everything going Chesterton's way right now, Jerry.
So after the punt, Chesterton will begin 1st and 10 from their own 16-yard line. And you mentioned that the last time he started the 19 was his 3rd, 3 straight possessions, 13, 19, 16. That the Trojans have had it dating back to the first half. 5:26 to play in the third. All tied up at 7 apiece. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Berry Brothers Blue Collar Player of the Game, underwritten by our friends at Berry Brothers. Berry Brothers, located 1/2 mile north of I-80-94 on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond. Friday nights on the Region Sports Network get started with the Tech Credit Union tailgate beginning every week at 6. Tech Credit Union has 6 Northwest Indiana locations to serve you. So Slatkoff in the shotgun. 2 receivers with him. The snap is high. Slatkoff had trouble coming up with it. LaPorte is saying they have it. Let's see.
Any
what
good
the
defense?
official says. They do.
Yes, they do.
LaPorte comes up with the fumble.
And then another flag on the play.
High snap. Slatkoff couldn't come down with it when he went to the turf to try to cover it up. Squirted free, and the Slicers were there and recovered, and they recovered at the 9-yard line.
But we got to see what the penalty is. It's going to be another personal foul against somebody because that official did get some great height on that flag toss.
Against LaPorte.
Against LaPorte. Oh, offsetting.
So nothing. So an outstanding opportunity coming up for the LaPorte Slicers. They get the football first and goal from the 9-yard line with 5:20 to play here in the third quarter. Game tied at 7. Second turnover of the night for Chesterton. Zaney looking things over. Now we hear some whistles, and that is to start the play clock. Zaney, handoff, and that looks like Long, the ball carrier, number 5 to about the 5.
Well, things are getting a little chippy out there for both sides. And it looks, well, I swore there was another flag, but maybe it was the football just being tossed up in the air. But both sides are getting a little chippy out there, Jerry. The official's going to have to keep this game under control. Got a long way to go.
4 yards on the carry, second and goal from the 5-yard line for LaPorte. Zaney under center. This is going to be Williams off the left side. He's in for the Slicer touchdown.
Boy, nice job. Just hitting a hole. Looked like he got in there untouched.
That is correct. Dion Williams, 5-yard touchdown run, puts the Slicers back out on top. 13-7 PAT coming. So LaPorte able to capitalize on the Chesterton turnover.
Yeah, huge turnover right there. All the momentum that we talked about on the side of Chesterton, then it just sort of slips away.
So Casey Cornett on for the T. Out of the hold of Mason Kosher. Snap, a little forced Kosher to kind of stretch for it, but he did a good job of getting it down. And Cornett put it through. So 4:37 left here in the third quarter. Your score now, the LaPorte Slicers 14 and the Chesterton Trojans 7. Back with more after this. You're listening to high school football right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you at Chesterton High School, and you're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Chevy runs deep. So now LaPorte back in front, 14-7. Here's the return by Rondinelli. He's at the 25-30. 35-40, brought down from behind, but a great return right there by Rondinelli.
Yeah, nice job. Got up into the wedge and then made a nice cut back and then made another nice cut. And boy, once he got into that open field, he turned on the Jets.
41-yard line is where the football is at for the Trojans. So as they try to answer the LaPorte touchdown, they get great field position to work with. First and 10, Chesterton. Slatkoff has two backs with him, two receivers here on the short side of the field. Here's the snap. Slatkoff running an option, going to keep. He's going to get out to about the 43-yard line. Couple of yards on the carry for Garrett Slatkoff.
Yeah, Slatkoff took that one all the way to the end. The defensive end sort of cut off his path to pitch it, so he was able to skip inside and pick up a couple yards. and the linebacker from the inside was able to come over and make the tackle.
Second down, 2nd and 8 for the Golden Trojans of Chesterton. Two receivers each way. Empty backfield this time, Jay. That's going to be a quick shovel pass, getting the edge, going out near midfield is Louis Razzo.
Wow. I don't know if you saw that as the run was happening, Jerry, but number 5 for Chesterton came across and set a crackback block and just nailed the LaPorte slicer inside linebacker, outside linebacker coming up to try and make the tackle. Boy, but a nice job, Jerry. He was a clean block, and he waited for the defensive man to turn and look and made sure he hit him right in the front.
5 yards on the pickup by Razzo. 3rd and 3 for Chesterton. Two receivers again on that short side. This is Stewart with the handoff. Gets to midfield, but he's going to be short by about a yard. It's going to bring up 4th and 1 for the Trojans.
Big play right here. They've got to convert here.
A brand new feature to the Region Sports Network this year is the Langle's Pizza and a Pop Quiz online at popquiz.regionsports.com. Fans can log on and take the short quiz, get a perfect score, and you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to Langle's Pizza. Langle's had 4 locations, Highland, Crown Point, and 2 in Cherville. They're on the web at langlespizza.com. So 4th and a yard for Chesterton. 2 receivers left, 1 receiver short side right. Stewart has it, and he has a first down, and he's still running. 41-yard line. Pickup of 9 for Daquan Stewart, a first down for Chesterton.
Boy, nice job just hitting that hole by the fullback right there. And, you know, Jerry, it looked like he went in with his head down and the ball covered with both hands, making sure he at least got the first down. And then once he broke through the initial line, got his head up and accelerated down the field.
Tonight's game is underwritten in part by the Randall K. Miss Accounting Group in Cherville. When it comes to business, let Randall K. Miss Accounting put the numbers to work. Their phone number is 219-864-8541, and they are online at www.rkmissgroup.com. Quick little look, pitch, catch, 20, 15, down inside the 15 to around the 12-yard line on the pass play.
Boy, nice job by the quarterback. Sort of looked like he sort of juggled it and mishandled it. The receiver was wide open. All they did was run a little dump pass to the tight end right there. The tight end went up the field. The quarterback looked like he juggled the ball, and then at the last second when the receiver was still open, was able to put it out there right where he could catch it and run.
43, Brant Wilder.
Nice
the young
catch.
man that made that reception, and that's a big play. 32 yards on that play. What do we have here?
And a little dive fake, and then Sletkoff pitches the ball outside to the running back, and he picks up. It looks like about 5 yards on the play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 5.
Did you get the number on the back?
I did not.
Okay, now you messed my stats up. Who's the back?
Looked like it might have been Daquan Stewart.
Okay, 26. If it's not, he gets extra yardage tonight. Where's he at? He
was at the
9-yard line.
9-yard line.
4 on that carry. Daquan Stewart. Another handoff to Stewart. Stewart cutting a couple of times, and he's in for the Chesterton touchdown. Daquan Stewart from 9 yards out, and Chesterton's within 1 from tying this up.
Well, what a nice job again. Instead of faking it to the tail fullback right there, Daquan Stewart took the ball from the quarterback, and it looked like the Red Sea had parted. All the LaPorte players were stepping outside thinking that the quarterback was going to keep it and run option, and he went in untouched.
Nate Needham on to try to tie this up. Snap a little high. The hold is good. The kick made it. It was a knuckleball, but it gets across the crossbar, and with 2:04 remaining in the third, your score now. The Chesterton Trojans 14, the LaPorte Slicers 14. Back with more after this. You're listening to high school football right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Morris Baseball and Softball Center, a new baseball and softball development program in Northwest Indiana, provides instruction for aspiring athletes. The staff at Morris Baseball and Softball Center has over 95 years of combined professional experience, and they provide instruction which includes game-tested methods used by major league teams. Located inside Omni 41 in Schererville, Morris Baseball and Softball provides disciplined, well-organized practices and places players at highly competitive opportunities to achieve success. For more information on Morris Baseball and Softball, the phone number is 227-5250, and the website is morrisbaseballcenter.com.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Welcome back to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point, and 90.5 FM, WRTK Paxton, Illinois. It's underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers, Chevrolet, the talk of the town. Well, Chesterton turns it over. LaPorte capitalizes, but Chesterton answers that touchdown with a nice drive and a score of their own, and we're tied up once again at 14 apiece. As on the fair catch there was Scott Cooper. LaPorte will begin this drive, first and 10 from the 30-yard line. What's going on elsewhere around Northwest Indiana there, Jay?
I'm looking for it on my phone. Is this the current one?
I believe it is, yes.
All right. And we'll get to it right after this play.
So first and 10 for the Slicers. Quick handoff. Long has it. Finds a little bit of room off the left side. Not a lot. Going to give him to the 33. 3 yards on the carry for Brennan Long. 2nd and 7.
All right, let's go over some scores from the region. We got Munster 17 and Grant 7 in the third. Lowell 48, Griffith 6 at the half. Lake Central 14, Crown Point 0 halftime. Wheeler 21, Whiting 7 at the half. Morton 22, Hammond High 12 in the second. Hanover 14, River Forest 6 at the half. Maryville 21, Portage 3 at the half. We'll get to some more scores after this play.
Second down, 2nd and 7 for LaPorte. Handoff, this will be Williams this time. He's going to try the left side. He's going to get across the 35 to around the 36. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Slicers.
All right, let's see if we can get to some more scores here. Valparaiso 42, Michigan City 0 half. Hobart 35, KV 0. Highland 41, Clark 0 at the half. South Central 34, Bishop Knoll 8 at the half. Boone Grove 16, Lake Station 0 halftime. And Gavitt 18, East Chicago 6 at the half.
Thank you, Jay. 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the LaPorte Slicers from their own 36-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter with the score tied up at 14 apiece. Zaney kind of letting the play clock run down. And that's going to be Long with the football. Fumble, and Chesterton has it.
Looks like that's number 4 for... Oh, and then 3 flags come flying out as the tackle went down. Looks like that was the number...
That was 4. That was Basic
4.
Khalifa, and that's who did pick it up.
Boy, and then as he went down to the ground, a host of yellow flags came flying out. So we're going to see what the penalty was.
Long fumbled it up around the 44-yard line. So he picked up 8 on the carry, but that is going to be the first turnover of the night for the Slicers. And it's now going to give Chesterton excellent field position.
And wait, we got to see what the flags are all about here. Could even be improved field position here in a second.
You watch. Tonight's game is underwritten in part by State Farm agents Rich Allenbaugh, Highland, and Bob Reese in Crown Point. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and so are Rich and Bob. Rich can be reached at 923-3030 and Bob at 663-7337. State Farm agents Rich Allenbaugh and Bob Reese are proud supporters of high school sports on the Region Sports Network. 15 against the Slicers.
Another personal foul on the Slicers. Very undisciplined tonight.
That takes the football all the way down to the 19-yard line. Chesterton, 1st and 10 from the LaPorte 19. Option. Rondinelli, right side, 10, 5. There's a flag. He's in, but let's see what happens.
Looks like they're going to call one of the receivers on a clip or a hold to the outside right there. Nice job of the quarterback again taking it to the point of attack, taking it to that defensive end, waiting until that last second to pitch that ball, but it looks like whoever was blocking on the outside for Chesterton either held or clipped the outside linebacker, freeing the running back up for the score.
At flag thrown around the 12-yard line. So the 10-yard walk-off for the hold moves the football back to the 22.
Boy, both teams shooting themselves in the foot. When they get good momentum going, both teams seem to be coming up with some big penalties.
So 7 yards for Rondinelli on the carry. We'll give him to the 12, and then you mark everything else off. Ball to 22, first down, first and 12 for Chesterton. But again, still in good field position. This is Slatkoff with the keep. Gets across the 20 to the 19. 3 yards on that carry for Garrett Slatkoff.
Yeah, Slatkoff on that play just decided to keep it. Rode the little play fake and then stepped inside, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the third quarter.
It is. The clock is at 0. That's the end of 3 from Chesterton. We're all tied up. Slicers and Trojans, 14 apiece. Back with the fourth after this. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Quality, family, convenience, trust. The four interlocking diamonds that symbolize United Federal Credit Union represent our commitment to our members. Quality, what we strive for in every transaction. Family, we have products and financial advice for every stage of life, like we would for our own family. Convenience, we are constantly adding ways to make our products more convenient, like mobile banking, online banking, and 24-hour telephone banking. Service, our service-oriented staff will take the time to get to know you on a personal level. United Federal Credit Union in Griffith. We'll get you there. Misprint can help your team's identification with team banners, trading cards, personalized team posters, stickers, decals, and fundraising ideas too. Misprint has 2 locations, 8244 Calumet Avenue in Munster and in Hammond at 6931 Calumet Avenue. Both locations open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and in Munster, Saturdays till noon. Online, it's misprintusa.com. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, designs, and signs. It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Back to Chesterton High School. Slatkoff fakes the handoff, drops back, now under pressure, has to roll out of the pocket and fire. Did he make the catch? Incomplete at the 8-yard line.
Boy, nice job of trying to keep his feet in was the receiver, number 6.
Matt Still.
Yeah, did a great job, but it looked like his left foot might have been just on the edge. The official right on top of that play, immediately making the call. Great job by the quarterback, keeping the play alive and almost coming up with a huge play.
3rd and 10 for Chesterton from the LaPorte 19, and you're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. 2 receivers out to the wide side left, and a fumble. Snap was low, right off the legs of Slatkoff and fired right back near the line of scrimmage. Alertly, one of the backs jumped on it.
And Jerry, at halftime, the Chesterton kicker on this end of the field was working on field goals from this distance and was easily making them right down the middle. So maybe a little bit more pressure on him now than it was when he was doing it at halftime.
Needham from 37 yards out for the lead. It's blocked and picked up and returned to the 40-yard line.
Wow, who was that came in clean?
Number
39.
39 for the LaPorte Slicers, and that is Nick Ormsby.
Wow, he came clean right over the, looks like the left guard. Came in clean, completely unblocked. And what a great job of just getting vertical just as he made it over the line and blocking that.
So Ormsby not only blocks it, he then returns it to the 40-yard line. So the score remains at 14 apiece. We're early in the fourth. Here's the Slicers from their own 40. This is Francicone out to the 47.
Yeah, Francicone just doing a nice job of following the lead block. Looks like that was left guard, number 52, Tim Walsh, leading up into the hole and getting a huge block right there and then picking up 7 yards.
2nd and 3 for the Slicers. We are just underway in the 4th quarter from here at Chesterton.
With some big momentum swings just in the last few minutes, Jerry.
This has been a very good football game,
yes.
Jay. Handoff. This is going to be Williams this time off the right side. He will have first down yardage into Chesterton territory at the 48. The pickup is 5. First down Slicers.
Well, it looks like Chesterton defense getting a little banged around inside there. That weight difference coming into play in the 4th quarter here. So they've got to come up with a big stop right here. Don't want LaPorte getting that momentum here in the 4th quarter.
Clock runs. 10:35 left in the 4th. Tied at 14. First down for LaPorte from the Chesterton 48. Zaney under center. Gives it to Long. Long works his way to the 46. A tough run of a couple of yards.
Again, Chesterton defense stopping the play in the hole, but again, giving up 2 yards to the fullback, Long, right there. Anytime your fullback in this kind of offense is picking up 2 or 3 yards on a carry in between the guards, that's pretty good.
So Mazzani with the play brings it back to the huddle. Again, they're double tight set with 3 backs. Mazzani under center, 2nd down. This is going to be Williams. Williams going to get across the 45 to about the 43, give him a pickup of 3, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Slicers.
Now, the back on that play got hit in the backfield, but was able to still pick up a couple yards. So Chesterton still putting pressure on the offense in the backfield, but it looks like that first guy just ain't making the tackle for the Trojans.
So they're saying 44-yard line, pickup of 2, 3rd and 6 for the Slicers. 9:15 to play in the 4th. We're tied at 14. Zaney to Williams. Williams trying to find some room to cut the corner here on the near side. And a flag thrown back at the 35 as Williams is knocked out of bounds around the 41.
And it's way away from the play on the backside. It looks like one of the linemen downfield holding one of the linebackers coming across the field. Now they're gonna looks like he picked. It's gonna be 4th and 4 from the spot. Do you take him back or do you go 4th and 4 and then possibly being 4th and manageable here? I mean, or do you take the holding penalty?
I think you back them. They're gonna decline it and make it 4th down.
Oof, boy.
Ball's gonna be at the 42. A 4th and 4 from LaPorte. From the Chesterton 42 with 9:06 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. And this one all tied up at 14 apiece. And LaPorte bringing the punt team on.
Well, yep.
Rondinelli drops back deep for Chesterton.
That gutsy call by the Chesterton coach declining that penalty, but it looks like it's going to pay off here. No, they're running a tight formation, tight punt formation.
Zaney with the quick punt. Hits the wind. And to the 20. Ball is down at the 24-yard line. Excuse me, the 29. Where is it at? 24-yard line.
24. Not very good of a punt, but again, it's
26. Sorry, go ahead.
They'll put it in on the field somewhere eventually. But not a very good punt, but a very strong win that LaPorte's going into.
So Chesterton has it 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 4 receivers in this formation with an empty backfield for Slatkoff. Tight end over on the wide side left as well. Now they're going to put Rondinelli in motion, and they're going to give to Rondinelli. He's trying to find the edge and manages to get to around the 31-yard line. That play will get 5. It's a good first down play for Chesterton.
Yeah, Chesterton, coming up with a nice play. Nice blocking by the receivers to that side.
We've seen him run that sweep a couple of times now tonight, Jay, with Rondinelli.
Yeah, it's just like a jet handoff, but it's like a little toss to the slot receiver coming in motion, a little toss to him on the run.
2nd and 5 for the Trojans. An empty backfield again. There are 5 receivers in this formation. Now they're going to bring Rondelli in motion to the right side. He's going to take the handoff. Good job by the Slicers. That's Owen Streeter on the tackle at the 35. It's about a yard short.
Yeah, coming from his deep half position. They're playing like a little bit of a cover 2. He's coming up from his deep half position, came up, took the legs right out of the running back right there. Nice job. Nice solid tackle.
3rd and 1 for Chesterton. Clock down to 7:45. We're tied at 14 here in the 4th.
Yeah, you know, Jerry, when he came around that corner, I thought he was going to pick up a big chunk of yards. And now it's just 3rd and 1. So it's going to be a big play right here. Big conversion down for Chesterton.
The same look this time, although they do put 1 man in the backfield this time due to the Trojans. Stewart back there. Man in motion. Razzo. And the handoff.
He's got it.
To Daquan Stewart, and he has it as he goes across the 35 to the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 2, and it's a first down for Chesterton.
Stewart doing the right thing, hitting the hole hard, hitting it full speed, and just getting the yardage for the first down. That's all you want right there on that play, Jerry. Keep the possession, keep the clock moving, move the ball down the field, working in for a score.
Tell you what, we got a lot of nominees for that Crowd Company Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. There's not one truly outstanding performance, but there are about 5 or 6 excellent performances here tonight. So I formation from the shotgun behind Slatkoff. Slatkoff pitches. And the ball was intended there for Razzo.
Yep, nice job of Razzo chasing the ball down and getting it out of bounds. That was a live ball as he pitched it backwards. A little bit too late on the pitch right there, Jerry. He's got to get rid of that ball before those defensive men put a hand on him.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for Chesterton as the clock is down to 6:55 here in the 4th quarter. Probably only would be fitting that this game goes to overtime, you know. The way it's been played all night. You're in no hurry. It's Friday night.
Look at that. 43, jumping the gun.
I was going to say who it was, but since you threw the number out there, let's throw the name as well.
Oh, sorry.
43, Cody Chavez. He's just a sophomore. He needs time.
Yeah.
The seniors will say something to him later. Puts the ball back to the 32 and brings up a 2nd and 15 for the Golden Trojans.
Again, try and get it half here, pick up 7, 8 yards, and then then you have a 3rd and manageable situation.
And we have an empty backfield again with 5 receivers. Somebody's coming in motion. Yep, Rondelli. Fake to him. Slatkoff drops under pressure, fires downfield, incomplete. The intended receiver there was 47, Matt Otwinoski. So 4th down for the Trojans.
Slatkoff did the right thing right there. Really had nowhere to go and only 1 receiver downfield in that area, and he was well covered. So the best thing he could have done, throw it away, come back, fight another down.
3rd and 15. From the 32, they're going to send 3 receivers, trips, wide side left. 1 man stays in the backfield with Slatkoff. 1 receiver here on the near side right. Slatkoff looking left all the way. Steps up into the pocket, fires through the hands of the intended receiver. And that looked like
number 6 or 5.
There. No, that was Matt Estill. Number 6.
Well, you had the receiver open. He waited too long to throw the ball. Had great protection in the pocket. He's just got to get rid of that ball before the receiver becomes open. And he threw the ball once the receiver was open.
They have to punt it away. Here's the boot. Streeter and Franciconi's just going to let it hit the turf. It takes a nice Chesterton roll inside the 20, down inside the 18-yard line. So that is where LaPorte will begin. 1st and 10 from right around their own 18-yard line. 6:31 left in the 4th. This game tied up at 14, excuse me.
A little bit of miscommunication right there by the 2 deep men for LaPorte. The ball landed right in the middle of them. One of them should have caught it. That would have saved them 10 to 15 yards on the roll.
Ball marked at the 17. 1st down, LaPorte. Handoff, and that's Franciconi. right side, cut back. He's at the 25, out to the 26-yard line. 9 yards on that carry by Gino Franciconi.
Yeah, Franciconi making several cuts in the hole, doing a great job staying on his feet and not going down. It looked like they had him well short of the first down, but they're going to move it.
Oh, they're 10. They're going to give him all the way to the 27-yard line and a first down slicers.
Yeah, Jerry, his feet did not stop moving on the first contact.
First and 10, LaPorte. There's a handoff to the 30-yard line.
Oh, nice push right there by the front. Again, going with the fullback, picking up 3 yards right there on first down.
Long on the carry to the 30, second down.
LaPorte waiting patiently for the big play to happen.
So second and 7. 5:39. The clock continues to move here in the fourth. Tied at 14. Zaney gives it. Williams finds some room, and he's gone. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. LaPorte leads.
I guess I spoke too soon. Patiently waiting, and it happens on the very next play. What a nice job of they caught him in some type of coverage where there was no free safety over the top. And once he broke through that initial wave of linebackers and linemen, he was gone, Jerry.
70 yards on the touchdown run by Deion Williams, his second 6-pointer of the night. 5:23 to play. LaPorte regains the lead at 20-14. On for the PAT for the Slicers, Casey Cornett. Here's the snap. Little high. Trouble with the hold, but managed to get it down, and the kick is up, and Cornett puts it through. 5:23 to play. Your score now, LaPorte 21, Chesterton 14. Back with more after this. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Tonight's game is underwritten in part by Langle's Pizza. With locations in Highland, Crown Point, and 2 in Sherrville, Langle's is open for pickup or delivery 7 days a week, and orders can be placed online at langlespizza.com. Don't forget to take the Langle's Pizza and a pop quiz at popquiz.regionsports.com for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate. Langle's, serving the region since 1979.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Welcome back to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point, and 90.5 FM, WRTK Paxton, Illinois, underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Chevrolet, the talk of the town. Short kick. Taken by one of the up men on a fair catch at the 33-yard line. So that is where Chesterton will begin. First and 10 from their own 33, now trailing at 21-14 to LaPorte, but still 5:23 to play in this fourth quarter. So don't go anywhere. This game's a long way from being over.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Both teams playing very well offensively and defensively. Now the pressure is on the Chesterton offense to come through.
They answered the last LaPorte score. Let's see what they can do this time. Chesterton does have the wind at their back as they are going towards the south end zone here in the fourth quarter. That's left to right there on your radio dial. So Slatkoff is by himself in the backfield, but they're going to put a man in motion. Slatkoff going to fake to Rondinelli, and his pass. Wow, breaking on it was the corner right there, 41, Joey Hilnovsky. Pass was intended for a still.
Yeah, you know what? Sletkoff is just waiting too long to release the ball. The receivers are open, and he just doesn't want to trust his arm to throw it to the spot where they're going to be when they break open.
So with the incomplete pass, it is 2nd and 10 for Chesterton. Again, they are at their own 33-yard line. They need a touchdown here in the final 5 minutes, trailing 21-14 to LaPorte. One man in the backfield trips to the right, one receiver on the short side left. And Slatkoff keeps, turns it upfield, gets to about the 36. He'll get 3 but it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 now for the Trojans.
Sleckoff just the option right there. Once he made the fake, he needed to just cut right up, right behind that fullback fake and just go. He sort of hesitated and waited for the defense to appear. He's got to take that ball and go, especially with the time crunch right now that Chesterton is having.
They're going to give him 4 yards on the play, 3rd and 6 for the Trojans. Slatkoff, one back to his right. Now he's going to clear out, trips out here. They're going to throw a swing pass. It's caught. He's got blockers in front of him, 40. And out of bounds around the 44-yard line, and that's Stewart on the catch.
Yeah, Stewart with the nice catch, catching the ball when his momentum was going forward. It looks like they're going to give them yes, they did. They gave him the first down.
To the 43-yard line. That play covers 6 yards and a first down for Chesterton.
That crunch time right now for the Chesterton offense. They got to keep putting some good plays together, positive plays.
So the football out to the 43-yard line. 4.5 minutes exactly to play in the fourth quarter. 21-14 LaPorte. Nye look behind Slatkoff. 2 receivers out wide side left. Handoff. Stewart to around the 49.
Nice job right there. Sletkoff reading that play. The defensive end was charging upfield thinking he was going to keep the ball. Gave it to the back. Picks up a nice gain. Got to get the offense going here. Got to go a little faster pace.
Gain of 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. Another handoff across midfield near the 48-yard line is the back. I believe that was Stewart again, but let's let him unpile. Yes, it was. And to the 48. Gives him a pickup of 3 more and brings up 3rd and 1.
I don't know, Jerry. This might be a play where you take the shot downfield. 3rd and 1, come back on 4th down, get the first down.
Let's see what they do. They have 2 receivers over to the left side, 2 backs with Slatkoff. Slatkoff checks, keeps, and has a first down as he's down to the 41-yard line.
I was going to say, Sletkoff's got to make sure he holds on, secures that ball. That ball was sort of just hanging out there. He's got to make sure after he makes that fake, he's got to pull it in tight and make sure he's got that ball securely held in his hands.
Chesterton has the football to the LaPorte 42. 1st and 10 Trojans, 3.5 minutes to play. 21-14 Slicers. Same look again. This look and what they're running, they like something they see here, Jay. Slatkoff, handoff, and this is going to be another first down to the 30-yard line, Louis Razzo.
Well, what they've done, LaPorte right now has taken one of their linebackers out of the box in between the tackles and has put them into pass coverage. So LaPorte counting the guys in there, and they are running the ball quite effectively with the fullback.
Down to the 30 is Chesterton, 1st and 10. 3:10 on the clock.
And running.
I have Chesterton with all their timeouts here in the second half still remaining.
They got plenty of time to get it in for a score.
And now we have a whistle, and we have a timeout. Timeout LaPorte. That's their first one of the half. Let's take a quick 30 ourselves. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Strachan Van Til with 19 Northwest Indiana locations has everything desired for healthy eating, from fresh produce, deli, bakery, and seafood. The meat department features certified Angus beef and butchers who offer custom orders. The website features a meal planner with a recipe of the day and catering information available, including a variety of party platters. They are on the web at strachanvantil.com.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you here at Chesterton. You're listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Razzo with the carry down to around the 27-yard line. 2:52 clock moves here in the fourth quarter. Chesterton driving. They're at the LaPorte 27. Slicers lead this one 21-14.
Chesterton running up to the line of scrimmage, trying to get these plays off quickly.
There's Slatkoff. Takes the shotgun snap. Keeps after the fake to Razzo. Keeps himself. Gets to the 24. 3 on that play, 3rd and 4 for Chesterton.
Sletkoff being a nice job of being elusive right there at the point of attack. The defensive end had him squared up, made a nice little head fake, and cut it inside. Got a positive gain on the play. Chesterton should be in a hurry, but they don't need to be up sprinting up to the ball. They can take their time, get into the huddle. Keep it under 20 seconds, 15 seconds. They should be fine.
3rd and 4 for the Trojans from the LaPorte 24-yard line. Slatkoff going to run option and pitch. Down the sideline, it's going to be a first down to the 16 on the carry by Rondinelli.
Dinelli with a great job of making the first man miss. The LaPorte slicer standing right there as he caught the pitch, made a nice head fake swim move, and was downfield for a big gain. Right now, Chesterton, all right, I don't know if he got out of bounds.
Must have. 1:51 to play.
But
clock is stopped. First down, Trojans from the 17-yard line. Chesterton needs a touchdown and a PAT to tie this up. Letkov. Belly to Stewart. Keeps inside the 10, inside the 5. Pushing his way to the goal line.
He's in.
He's in for the touchdown.
What?
The last 5 yards, he was battling 4 and 5 slicers who were fighting him to keep him out of the end zone.
It looked like a scrum right there. The last 5 yards, both teams pushing against each other, and Chesterton came up positive with great job on the read on the option right there. Faked it inside. Fouled this time, Jerry. He did what he was supposed to do. He fouled the back into the hole and busted it right up through the middle of the defense. And does Chesterton going to
go for 2? We're going to find out.
Well, after the last time they tried to kick the ball.
They have the ball marked on the hash left side. 1:42 to play. Slicers lead at 21-20. Chesterton going for the win right now.
And this stadium is electric. Everybody on the Chesterton side standing up.
3 receivers to the right side. 1 left on the formation. Now they bring a man in motion that way. Handoff, Rondinelli trying to get the corner. He's in!
What a great play call right there. Just outran the slicer defense, got it all the way to the corner, and cut it up just enough to stay in bounds. Chesterton 22, LaPorte 21, 1:42 left in the 4th.
Rondinelli with the 2-point conversion run. We'll take a quick break. Back with the final 1:42 after this. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Herm and Chris Hoagie, broker-owners of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster, are award-winning realtors with over 30 years of experience. Their team of over 35 agents is ready to help with any and all real estate needs in Lake and Porter counties, as well as the southeast Chicago suburbs. They can be found on the web at regionhomes.com. Herm and Chris Hoagie are proud to underwrite the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report during tonight's game.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW Crown Point.
Welcome back to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Touchdown and 2-point conversion with 1:42 on the clock has put Chesterton in front for the first time tonight. 22-21 over LaPorte. Now, let's see what the Slicers can do. They are going into a stiff win.
Yes, they are.
But do only need a field goal.
But again, the kicker's going to have to kick into that wind.
Here's the approach and the boot. That kick is going to go into the end zone, so LaPorte's going to have to try to do it from 20.
Boy, the kicker right there put his foot into that one, carried it all the way to the back of the end zone. No chance for a return on that one.
Fans of Region Sports, while you're online, check out the #1 student NWI features published by our friends at nwindianalife.com. 27 Northwest Indiana schools are participating, including Lake Central, Munster, Crown Point, and Lowell, with stories straight from the students. The eyes and ears of positive news and events in the school. You can find all these great stories at nwindianalife.com/1student NWI. Here we go for the Slicers. Franciconi with it from the right side. Franciconi's going to battle out to the 32. maybe the 33. It's going to be a first down for the Slicers.
That Slicers have got to pick up the pace. They do not have a high-powered offense that they can throw the ball down the field. They've got to pick up the pace. Too much time going off the clock.
12 on that play for Franciconi. Here we go. This is Williams with it. Here on the near side. Williams at the 40. A spin move. Stays in bounds, Jay.
Huge mistake right there. Trying to pick up the big gain and spun back into the field. And he got it second down and 9.
2nd and 1 after the 9-yard pickup. You got it. You got it. You're all over that 9, man. It's cool. Second down. That man up on the far side looks offsides. The way he set that wide receiver.
They got 12 guys on the field. Boy, they burnt 15 seconds off the clock trying to get set, and they had 12 guys on the field. Now they got to burn a timeout on top of already burning that 15 extra seconds. Poor clock management by LaPorte.
60 seconds remaining to be exact. 22-21 Chesterton. LaPorte 2nd and 1 from their own 41. Stay tuned after the game for the Region Football wrap-up on the Region Sports Network as the crew back in the RSN studio gives all of the scores from tonight's games across Northwest Indiana. The Region Football wrap-up show on the air until 11 p.m. It's been a fun one.
They're what they're talking about is they call timeout with 105. The hometown clock guy trying to help the home team out a little bit.
So 65 seconds are put back on the clock. Receiver left, the receiver right. Here's Mazzani under center. Here we go. Mazzani going to drop back 3 steps. He's looking right. He's going to fire downfield. And out of bounds, incomplete, but we've got a hold back here at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, that quarterback's got to release that ball a little bit sooner. You can't throw the ball 45, 50 yards into the wind. You've got to get rid of that ball a lot sooner. Let the receiver make a play on it.
And the penalty coming from the 35 is going to push the football back to the 25-yard line.
It looked like one of the defensive linemen for Chesterton broke through the offensive line, and somebody reached out and tried to hold him back to get to the quarterback. So that's going to hurt LaPorte big time here.
And that is going to make it 2nd down and about 17. But there's only 56.8 on the clock. And Chesterton 75 yards away from a touchdown.
Chesterton has got to worry right now about getting that first down.
Chesterton 22, LaPorte 21. Zaney, quick pass, caught on the far side, hook and ladder, and the ball fumbled and recovered by Chesterton.
Wow, what a great play. Chesterton defense rises to the occasion. They tried to run the hook and ladder, and there was nothing doing right there. As the Chesterton receiver tried to pitch the ball, the cornerback for LaPorte had him wrapped up. The ball hits the ground, and Chesterton comes up with the ball. Great job, Chesterton defense. All night long, Jerry.
Cooper with the catch for LaPorte. Went to make the pitch. The ball came loose. Chesterton comes up with it at the LaPorte 25, and that should do it with 52.4 on the clock.
How many timeouts does LaPorte have?
I have them with just 1 remaining in this half. Remember, they just burned that second one after the 15 seconds were gone on the clock. And LaPorte looks like they will fall for the first time this season. The victory formation for Chesterton. Sletkoff with the knee. Clock will continue to roll. This is a big win for the Trojans.
Yes, it is. Boy, this side of the stadium is electric right now, Jerry. They are excited. They're standing on their feet. Huge crowd here for the Chesterton Trojans. The fans are loving it.
One more knee, and that will do it. It's the only 2 times Slatkoff's been under center all night. Here's a knee.
Sometimes, Jerry, that can be an issue.
The Chesterton Trojans improved to 2-0 in the DAC.
What a great game, Jerry.
LaPorte falls to 1-1. Both clubs leave at 3-1 on the season. What a game. And LaPorte being in 6A now. These two are in the same sectional. There's the opportunity to see this one all over again in the postseason.
It'll be a great game. to finish off the season in the sectional.
It was a great one tonight. Chesterton comes away with a 22-21 win over LaPorte on the strength of a Ritt Rondinelli 2-point conversion run with 1:42 left in the game. We'll be back with the postgame after this. You're listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep.
At the Crowell Companies, our customers are more than just numbers on a ledger or anonymous people who sign up online. Our customers are the families we see at the ball fields, the grocery store, and all around the community. That's because for nearly 50 years, the Crowell Companies have been part of the community right here in Northwest Indiana, offering personalized custom services that only a local company can provide. For home, auto, and business insurance, it's the Crowell Companies, 923-2131, and online at crowellinsurance.com. The Crowell Companies, home of the insurance superheroes.
McShane's Total Graphic Solutions puts your company name and logo on just about anything. We offer a full line of custom marketing products and services like custom imprinted mugs, pens, and magnets, quality employee apparel, with custom imprinting and embroidery, executive gifts, customer appreciation and gifts, and so much more. McShane staff can help you select the right items to help you achieve excellent results. McShane's 1-800-837-1400 or online at McShanes.com.
Sports in the region are about tradition, and since 1946, Berry Brothers in Hammond has built a tradition of quality and service. With a professionally trained sales staff, Berry Brothers offers a selection of quality American-made work boots, safety shoes, and apparel. Located on Indianapolis Boulevard, a half-mile north of Interstate 94, Berry Brothers is devoted to providing exceptional service to ensure the satisfaction of every customer. Berry Brothers is open 7 days a week, and gift certificates are available. The website is berrybros.com. Concussions occur when trauma to the head or spine temporarily interferes with brain function. Seeking medical care as soon as possible is important in making a full recovery and reduces the risk of developing long-term problems. The concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster and St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart have a team of medical professionals experienced in evaluating and treating concussions. If you have a head or neck injury, don't wait. Head to the experts. For a head injury on the field, the court, or the ice, the phone number to the concussion clinics is 219-836-4461.
Buffalo Wild Wings wants to team up with Region High Schools to share the excitement of homecoming by sponsoring the halftime festivities with the B-Dubs street team and mascot. For participating schools, the fun includes a wings delivery to the press box, a t-shirt toss for fans, a chance to win a B-Dubs spirit bag with any concession stand purchase before halftime, and a fan's photo opportunity with the B-Dubs mascot. This is a first-come, first-served promotion based on availability and dates, so for more information on booking Buffalo Wild Wings for your school's homecoming, you can call 586-663-0707 and ask for Lisa Bissett. That number again is 586-663-0707.
It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
And we welcome you back to the Chevy Dealers Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point, 90.5 FM, WRTK, Paxton, Illinois. And, of course, as always, streaming worldwide on the internet at regionsports.com. It's all underwritten by the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Chevrolet, the talk of the town. An exciting one here tonight at Chesterton High School as the Trojans rally with a touchdown, a two-point conversion with 1:42 to play, and they knock off LaPorte tonight by a final of 22-21. With the win, Chesterton goes to 3-1 on the season, 2-0 in the DAC. LaPorte falls to 3-1 on the year and 1-1 in the DAC. But boy, these two clubs, you and I hadn't had a chance to see them yet.
No, we haven't.
We've heard a lot about them. We've read a lot about them. And I'll tell you what, these are both very good ball clubs. You throw in Lake Central. If Maryville gets hot, this DAC race is going to be tough.
Yeah, it is, and it's only going to get tougher as teams start to peak towards the end of the season, so it should be an interesting run to see who comes out of top of the Doolin Conference.
And, of course, you throw Lake Central in there. LaPorte will host Lake Central next week, while Chesterton will be right here against Valparaiso. That's a big rivalry game between those two.
Oh, yeah, just a short ride apart from each other. Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry, the energy on this side, once that two-point conversion was made, it was exciting.
It was electric.
Yes, it was.
Hey, how about recapping the score?
All right, here we go. Let's start off in the first quarter. Gino Francesconi with a 1-yard run, PAT good, in the first quarter. That came at 1:27 left. And then Chesterton answered right back with Garrett Sletkoff with a 50-yard run, PAT good. But that came in the third quarter, so it was 7-0 at the halftime. That happened with 9:03. And at that point, Jerry, you sort of felt the momentum coming back this way, but nothing doing when Dion Williams, a 5-yard run, PAT good for LaPorte with 4:37 left in the third quarter. Then Chesterton answered back just a few minutes later with 2:04 left in the third quarter. A 9-yard run by Dequan Stewart. PAT good, tied up 14-14 going into the fourth quarter. And then 7 minutes go by into the fourth quarter, and then LaPorte pours in a touchdown, a 70-yard run by LaPorte, Dion Williams, PAT good, that came with 5:23 left. And that was right after a blocked field goal by LaPorte, and then the next very couple plays later, bam, the 70-yard run. So a huge play right there. LaPorte up in the driver's seat, 21-14. But Chesterton offense, which has been sort of slow to start all season, came alive in the fourth quarter and late in the fourth quarter. And with 1:42 left, Garrett Sletkoff, 16-yard run for the touchdown. 2-point conversion good. Rondinelli with the 2-point score on a jet sweep all the way to the outside, turns it up right at the pylon and punched it in, and that again came with 1:42 left in the fourth quarter, and then the Chesterton defense took over from there, and that's all she wrote for LaPorte.
22-21. Chesterton wins this one this evening. Let's take a look at some of the numbers from tonight's ball game. First, for the victorious Chesterton Golden Trojans, and I said it so good all night long. 40 times they ran the ball on the ground tonight for 234 yards. The leading ball carriers, and there were only 4 young men that carried the football. Garrett Slatkoff, 14 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daquan Stewart, he had 13 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. Rit Rondinelli, 8 carries for 50 yards and the game-winning 2-point conversion. And Louis Razzo, 5 carries for 22 yards. 7 of 18 on the night for Garrett Slatkoff with a pick, 105 yards. The leading receiver, Rit Rondinelli, 4 catches for 36 yards, all coming in the first half. Logan Hofert had 1 catch for 31 yards. That was a big play that helped the Chesterton drive in the first quarter, although they were unable to score. So 339 yards of total offense for Chesterton in this one. 16 first downs, 6 penalties for 48 yards. They fumbled the ball twice, lost once, had the interception, so they had 2 turnovers in the game, and they even had a blocked field goal in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes there, holding on to the ball. And the blocked field goal, I thought, was a huge turning point because at that point it was still 14-14, and Chesterton could have taken the lead right there. Blocked field goal, the man came in clean, blocked it nicely, picked it up, and took a few extra yards.
Taking a look at the numbers for the LaPorte Slicers, they ran the ball 50 times tonight for 373 yards. Leading them on the way on the ground, Dion Williams, 19 carries, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Brennan Long, 18 carries for 91 yards. Gino Francesconi, 11 carries, 57 yards and a touchdown. And the quarterback, Eric Mazzani, 2 carries for 6 yards. Throwing the football tonight for LaPorte, 4 of 7 through the air for 26 yards. 399 yards of total offense for the Slicers. They too had 16 first downs. They also had 2 turnovers, both on fumbles, and they had 9 penalties for 100 yards
It seemed
tonight,
like
Jay.
every time that flag was thrown, it was a personal foul against LaPorte. And it was several times in key situations that helped Chesterton move the ball down the field or negate LaPorte from getting the first down. So crucial penalties against LaPorte. That's one thing they're going to have to work on for next week.
So LaPorte wins the battle of yardage. They tie on turnovers. They tie on first downs. But they don't tie on the scoreboard. A 2-point conversion. Chesterton wins 22-21. We're going to take another break here in the postgame show. And when we come back, Jay and I will give out our awards for the evening, and we'll wrap things up from here at Chesterton High School and send it back to the boys in the studio so they can tell you what else is happening around Northwest Indiana on the 4th week of the regular season. Back with more after this. You are listening to Chevy Dealer Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois.
Hey, it's Tara for Christensen Chevy. Christensen Chevrolet is a local family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership celebrating over 60 years in the community, serving all of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. If you stop in, you can see why families and businesses have put their trust in us for generations. At Christensen, we have an enormous inventory of new Chevys with all of your favorite models in stock, ready for immediate delivery, because that's the Christensen way. We're Christensen Chevrolet, proud sponsor of our great local high school athletic programs on Indy Boulevard in Highland, or visit ChristensenChevy.com.
Quality, family, convenience, trust. The 4 interlocking diamonds that symbolize United Federal Credit Union represent our commitment to our members. Quality, what we strive for in every transaction. Family, we have products and financial advice for every stage of life, like we would for our own family. Convenience, we are constantly adding ways to make our products more convenient, like mobile banking, online banking, and 24-hour telephone banking. Service, our service-oriented staff will take the time to get to know you on a personal level. United Federal Credit Union in Griffith. We'll get you there.
Herman Chris Hoagie, broker-owners of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster, are award-winning realtors with over 30 years of experience. Their team of over 35 agents is ready to help with any and all real estate needs in Lake and Porter counties, as well as the southeast Chicago suburbs. They can be found on the web at regionhomes.com. Herman Chris Hoagie are proud to underwrite the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report during tonight's game.
Tonight's game is underwritten in part by Langle's Pizza. With locations in Highland, Crown Point, and 2 in Sherrville, Langle's is open for pickup or delivery 7 days a week, and orders can be placed online at langlespizza.com. Don't forget to take the Langle's Pizza and a pop quiz at popquiz.regionsports.com for a chance to win a $25 gift certificate. Langle's, serving the region since 1979. Morris Baseball and Softball Center, a new baseball and softball development program in Northwest Indiana, provides instruction for aspiring athletes. The staff at Morris Baseball and Softball Center has over 95 years of combined professional experience, and they provide instruction which includes game-tested methods used by major league teams. Located inside Omni 41 in Sherrville, Morris Baseball and Softball provides disciplined, well-organized practices and places players at highly competitive opportunities to achieve success. For more information on Morris Baseball and Softball, the phone number is 227-5250, and the website is morrisbaseballcenter.com.
Misprint can help your team's identification with team banners, trading cards, personalized team posters, stickers, decals, and fundraising ideas too. Misprint has 2 locations, 8244 Calumet Avenue in Munster and in Hammond at 6931 Calumet Avenue. Both locations open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and in Munster, Saturdays till noon. Online, it's misprintusa.com. Misprint in Munster and Hammond for custom print, designs, and signs. It's high school football action on the Key, 90.5 FM, WRTW, Crown Point.
Welcome back to the Chevy Dealers Game Night on the Region Sports Network on 90.5 FM, WRTW. Underwritten by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy Dealers. Chevrolet, the talk of the town. Along with Jay Simmons, Jerry Siska back with you here at Chesterton High School. Trojans over the LaPorte Slicers tonight, 22-21 in a dandy of a ball game. Time to name the blue-collar player of the game, underwritten by Berry Brothers. Berry Brothers, a blue-collar store for the blue-collar worker.
And the blue-collar player of the game is D.M. Williams with 19 carries, 141 yards, and 2 TDs.
We weren't kidding when we had a lot of options
Yes.
for all these awards. It was tough trying to figure it all out, but Deion Williams, a heck of a night So he will be our blue-collar player of the game, underwritten by Berry Brothers, located 1/2 mile north of I-80-94 on Indianapolis Boulevard in Hammond. Time now to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, they're your insurance superheroes.
And it's got to go to Garrett Slutkoff, who played an outstanding game. 14 carries, 103 yards, 2 TDs, 7 for 18, and 105 yards passing. Was handing out popcorn, at halftime. I mean, he did it all today. What a great job he did. He did a great job reading those options all day long, whether to give, whether to take it. And then also, Jerry, on the pitches that he was doing, he did a great job doing that option all day long.
And he showed his experience when that turnover came right before halftime.
Yeah.
You could see it did not affect him as he went through his play in the second half and scored the touchdown that drew him within one. And then Ritt Rondinelli scored the 2-point conversion, and that is how Chesterton wins this one, 22-21. But it goes to Garrett Slatkoff, our Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, they have offices open from 9 to 9 Monday through Friday and Saturdays until 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Region Sports Network coverage of high school football, 90.5 FM, WRTW, and on the internet at regionsports.com, is underwritten by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, the Crowell Companies, Berry Brothers, Strack and Van Til, McShane's, Christensen Chevrolet in Highland, Tech Credit Union, Langle's Pizza in Highland, Cherryville, and Crown Point, the concussion clinics at Community Hospital in Munster, St. Mary Medical Center in Hobart, and Valparaiso Health Center in Valpo, Herman Chris Hoagie of Remax Realty in Munster, United Federal Credit Union, Randall K. Miss Accounting Group, Morris Baseball and Softball Center, State Farm agents Bob Reese in Crown Point and Rich Allenbaugh in Highland, Buffalo Wild Wings, 4U Construction, and by Misprint in Hammond and Munster. The management team of the Region Sports Network, our executive producer is Chris Ramirez, our chief engineer is Mike Bonaventura, our coordinating producer Nathan Laird. Video this evening for you from here at Chesterton High School, Ken Siegfried, our RSN game producer Nick Russ, our video producer Nathan Laird, and the station manager at WRTW, Jody McManus. Some thanks to go out as well, as I think my voice is getting more hoarse as we go on. The athletic director here at Chesterton High School, Gary Nalloweg, thanks for all his help as always. Appreciate all that he does. And a thanks to the coaches, Dave Sharp at LaPorte and Mark Peterson at Chesterton, for providing us with all of the information that we requested in order to prepare for tonight's ball game. And finally, a thank you to you, the listeners of 90.5 FM, WRTW, and RegionSports.com for spending some of your Friday night with us, enjoying high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. Don't go away, because Nathan and Chris Ramirez back at the studio will be bringing you the Region Football Wrap-Up Show. They will let you know what's going on across all of Northwest Indiana tonight. The Region Football Wrap-Up Show will air until 11 p.m. Final thoughts, Jake?
Yeah, final thought is Mark Peterson, head coach for Chesterton. A gutsy call at home with 1:42 left in the game. Goes for 2. Turns his Chesterton Trojan record down to 13-13. That is a gutsy call.
So Chesterton wins it by a final of 22-21. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, buddy. Have a good week.
Thank you much. For Jay Simmons, I'm Jerry Siska. The final score for the final time, Chesterton 22, LaPorte 21. Have a great weekend, everyone. And you've been listening to Chevy Dealers Game Night right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You're listening to the Region Sports Network on WRTW Crown Point and WRTK Paxton, Illinois. Your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are proud to be contributing members of the community here in Northwest Indiana. Your local Chevy dealers also pride themselves on their commitment to help you find a vehicle of your choice at a Chevy dealer near you. Our website is ChevyDriveChicago.com. Once again, that's ChevyDriveChicago.com. We look forward to serving you. Chevy runs deep.
Herm and Chris Hoagie, broker owners of RE/MAX Realty Associates in Munster, are award-winning realtors with over 30 years of experience. Their team of over 35 agents is ready to help with any and all real estate needs in Lake and Porter counties, as well as the southeast Chicago suburbs. They can be found on the web at regionhomes.com. Herm and Chris Hoagie are proud to underwrite the Herm Hoagie Halftime Report during tonight's game.